Video is up.
Everything good? Cool.
And I think we have audio. We are live.
All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Healing Potions Not Included. Wow, rough start already. Welcome to Healing Potions Not Included, a primarily Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition stream. We will be streaming from 7 to 11 p.m. CST and taking a break around the 2-hour mark. My name is Ven, and I will be the game master for our first campaign. For those of you who don't know what Dungeons & Dragons is, it's an interactive role-playing game where each player controls a character throughout a collectively told story through acting and improv. Tonight, and for the rest of the first campaign, we will be playing with these 3 fellow cast members. If they would please introduce themselves and the characters they are playing.
Hold up. I can't hear anything now. Oh, sorry. Nope, we're good.
Okay, cool. Hi, everybody. My name is Blong. So, my character's name is Corvin. He's a level 2 warlock. Yeah, when we get into more of the campaign, we'll explain what it would look like more, I guess.
Hello, my name is Ryan, and I will be playing Singard Runesmark, a paladin.
I am AJ, and my character's name is Torvar. And just as a note, if I seem distracted, it is because I am also going to be monitoring chat and tech and audio and all sorts of things. So if it seems like I'm not paying attention, it's because I'm handling other things. So hopefully that doesn't get too distracting. All right. If anything does go wrong, anybody watching, just let me know in chat if you can't hear anything, or if audio is, if things go down, or if cameras go down or anything like that. Just let me know, and I'll try and fix it as soon as I see it.
Class.
Right. Oh, class is a fighter. Yeah, that's it.
All right.
All right, cool. Just before we start, I want to say a few disclaimers for the stream. So we will have some adult-themed things in the game, such as violence and alcohol and things like that. And the campaign itself is also horror-themed, so if you're kind of bothered by that, unfortunately, we'll have to see you next stream.
Campaign, but yeah.
Campaign.
We do apologize ahead of time. None of us are professional actors, and we mess up accents, names, and some cultural themes. But we are trying our best to keep cognizant of that and work towards being better at it. Also, for those of you at home who have played 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons, we are homebrewing some rules, and we are in a homebrew world, so please bear with us.
We also have a few shout-outs to make to the people who to use their content and creations that help to make this stream possible. Thank you guys so much. We will be putting a Linktree link in the description below so you can check them out. To our miniature and terrain creators, Dwarven Forge, Rocket Pig Games, Printed Obsession, Lord of the Print, and Mini Monster Mayhem. And to our game tools and accessory creators, Axe and Shield, Viridian Gaming, CZYY Store, and Arrow Road Creations. Thanks as well to anyone we missed here. We really appreciate you. Back to you, Ben.
All right. Just as a side note, I do believe Rocket Pig Games is having a Kickstarter right now if you do want to check them out. But with that, let's jump right into the game, shall we? All right. So, our story this evening starts in a country known as Drognia. This is a sub-Antarctic place located in the southern half of the continent known as Ikvang. It is a land of thick, dark, evergreen forests, massive stone hills, where mists and fog permeate the frigid air each day, and rain or snow is never far away. Drognia is where all sorts of creatures lay just out of sight, and the nights are a time to stay locked in your homes. Drognia has just come out of the season of darkness, known as Landemar, or the Long Dark to most, where darkness reigns supreme for 6 months of the year, and its citizens celebrated in the light once again. However, even though the light shines during the day once again, the dark of night is still full of terrors. It's in this place we find our adventurers, each heading to the town of Saturi, a frontier town on the edge of the Tenavia hinterlands, on the northern part of the Mulkosa fields that are slightly covered in snow even though the start of spring has passed. You can see people shoveling the snow from their roofs, pushing it off the wooden shingles to the ground below, and piling it up on the sides of their fieldstone houses. You all look towards the sky and see it's nearing nightfall, maybe an hour or two left before the two moons are the only light, and decide to quicken your pace. In every age, someone needs a hero. Will you rise to the occasion, or will you fall to the coming dark? Boom, 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 boom. You hear church bells off in the distance ring. One of the two buildings taller than the rest of them in the town. As you approach, you see the bell swaying back and forth. You can see people leaving their houses and gathering near it. Looks sort of urgent as you guys are approaching right at the edge of town with Torvar and Singard. If you would describe your characters, please.
Go ahead. This is more noticeable.
Singard is a very large individual, cloaked in very thick armor. If you can see underneath it, it looks goldish and blackish hues, carrying a large, long sword and shield. He does look rather gaunt and very frosted skin, and approximately around 9 feet tall. 8.5 feet tall, I believe, or so. I have to check that again. 8 and 6.
There you go.
He's got black hair tied back in a pony if he ever pulls down his hood, which hopefully we will see him eventually. But with that, I will put off to you, Torvar.
Torvar is a relatively lighter-skinned human, standing about 6 foot in height. He has dark brown hair and facial hair. It's rather long, but it's held back in sort of a messy ponytail with a leather binding. He has a very short-cut beard, but his mustache comes down in braids with beads on the end. He's wearing dark grays and browns for his clothes, with a fur-lined cloak and a vest underneath. He's got wooden toggles, very simple-looking clothing, maybe a little bit worn, all over a chainmail shirt. Simple pants, belts, some pouches on either side, simple leather boots with some chainmail shin guards and knee pads. They're all wrapped in leather, though. The only reason you can see that they are chainmail is because there's some rips and some seams have torn. So he's definitely, his clothing definitely looks held together but well used. He has a pauldron on his right shoulder with a full leather gauntlet on the forearm that is also chainmail underneath. And on the left side, it looks like, judging by the belts holding on his pauldron, he should have another pauldron on the left side, but the chainmail looks like it's been ripped and torn, and he's sporting some nasty scars on the left side. And he has a much simpler leather gauntlet on his left hand, and it's wrapped around his hand in such a way that it covers his ring finger, which is missing, you see. Carries 2 axes, one on either hip, and a single large axe on his back strapped to his bag, a round shield, and strapped to the bottom of his bag on his back is a rectangular wooden chest that he carries with him.
All right.
I will say, I did forget to mention, Singard also has a beard that is about long, almost mid-chest, with golden beads in it. Just a few.
Okay. All right. We hear church bells.
Loud gonging church bell, yeah.
Remind me where we're at.
Currently, you are right on the edge, the southern edge of the Tenavia hinterlands, which is the northern part of Drognia. You had to follow along the river road to get there.
Okay.
There's most of the way there from the last town that you were in to Saturi is fields, like large open areas. Mm-hmm. It's one of the weirdly flat spots where like farmers normally would be, but since it's covered in snow, it's kind of hard to farm.
Okay.
But you are just coming up from the southern edge of the town from the trade road that heads south.
Okay. Sorry, a little scatterbrained at the moment.
That's
Remind me
all
why
good.
we're here.
So
Totally forgot.
if you remember, when you first entered Drognia back in the port city, you were heading towards a specific person to get some information.
Yes. I remember that. I
and
just don't
then
remember why we're here.
In order
in
to
particular.
get access to this person, they sent you north and said to just go deal with a problem.
Okay.
You were given very vague instructions that it was probably Fey in nature.
Okay.
That looks like a problem to me. Then I go charging out.
All right, so you go trotting up into the area. You do see a lot of the people here are much shorter than you. And some of them turn and look, and they kind of get a little startled at you as you run by.
Out
But,
of the way, puny mortals.
Torvar, are you following?
Reluctantly, but yes.
Around this same time, Corvin, you were a little sooner in the town. You were probably just gathering some things near near one of the places where you would be like trading your hunting
Oh,
stuff.
is this a town?
This is the town.
Okay,
yeah.
okay. So,
Um,
okay. All right.
At which point you heard guards, and then the gonging went off immediately.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, thanks.
You didn't have very long to go. It's one of those like alert to town, something's going wrong kind of bells.
Oh, and for I never really heard this ever go off, right?
No, this is one of those. You heard that it was an emergency kind of thing, but you haven't heard it go off because it's not an emergency usually.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
So you do see a few people in like leathers and a little bit of metal chainmail armor kind of running past occasionally as you hear it, and then you see people coming out of their homes and like gathering towards the church. Singard, as you're pushing your way past people up towards the front of the crowd, kind of like trudging through the snow, making the splashes and all that, you see there is a person with like this long brown robe on, not like monk type robes, but they've got like a smaller bell, and the church bell is still gonging, and you hear it gongs a total of 10 times. Not really sure if that has any significance here, because other places you've been that hasn't really been like an alarm bell like that used, but you hear after that the person with the bell, ding 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 ding, hear ye, hear ye, another found dead, family of 6, 1 survivor.
Unfortunate. Keep going.
You're just going right up to the...
keep going for the sounds of the church bells.
Well, they're standing outside the front of the church.
Oh, they
so
are?
people are like gathering around, and you see this person like on a little soapbox, and then so they ring the bell, and then that's when you hear them say that as you're like getting
Then
through the crowd.
I would approach him if I could. Well, I'd probably just shout over them.
Everybody's like chattering about another
You point at him.
just kind of gives you like a super startle.
What is happening?
Another found dead. Rings, kind of yells out to the crowd. It kind of speak to the town guard.
Pardon. Just
Okay. You start like looking around. You see like in Drognia, there's a heavy military presence, specifically in Saturi right now, even though it's a frontier town. Outside of your knowledge, so over half of the citizens right now are well armed. Have these like bands that denote rank on some of them, and you're kind of surrounded by a crowd that's 50-50 civilians and soldiers.
How many people roughly?
There's maybe 25 people currently in the square kind of area by the church, but there are more coming out of their churches. You probably estimate, because you're slowly walking up, maybe 40 people that are actually civilians, whereas there's actually probably closer to like 50 military members or town guard type people.
Okay.
Well,
So yeah, you turn to look at the crowd, and there's just like a whole bunch of soldiers, and you see a couple of them kind of like grip their weapons and look at you and kind of give you a funny look, kind of look a little taken aback.
you found another dead. To what?
It's at this point that a person steps forward, kind of a male dwarf who's like kind of modest in size. He's not like massive, but he's very muscular, and he's actually kind of tall for a dwarf. He has like a breastplate and orange leather armband on his arm. He's got this like long orange hair that's like thick and tied, and it's kind of braided like mine, but like a full head of hair. And then like a thick bearded in several places beard, and has a weapon on his side, kind of hidden under a little bit of an overcloak. You see, kind of like dragging on the ground behind him, it's actually like a maul. It's just like just dipping off the ground as they're taking a step. But they step forward and who are you to be asking?
Singeld Runesmark.
Right, that's a name.
You asked.
I mean, who are you, as in what authority do you have to be questioning into the town's affairs?
Anyone who can help.
Well, I think, kind of looks to the crowd, I think we have enough people here to do the investigation.
Fair. But what has been doing the killing?
That's a good question. Let's go find out. And they begin to walk off. A couple of other guards who have different colored bands behind him, specifically, if I just double check here. The bands that the two who follow him are wearing are, one is brown and the other one is green. But they one follows like directly in flank back to his right, and the other one behind that one back to the left. So they kind of like this.
So
weird shape.
determining just staring at them, their armbands. Can you pretty much determine rank just based on?
It's definitely some kind of determination of rank, though you haven't been in Drognia long enough to know. You're used to more Fjolvard, where there is rank, and you know the people in rank because there's few of them. Otherwise, it's just like brothers in arms, kind of shield maidens and whatnot like that.
Given my history, do I know anything about rank here?
I would say you have a vague idea that there are some ranks that are higher up, but you're not entirely sure what the higher end of the system is, but you can definitely tell that brown and green are like they're low-level people.
Okay.
So seeing an orange band is a little strange for you.
Okay.
Because that system went in place after...
I was here last?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I mean, it was like during the war between Fjolvard and Drognia.
Okay.
But you can definitely tell the person who has the orange band on their arm is the leader. I mean, they wouldn't be leading if they weren't. And the other two are following directly behind.
Am I nearby this?
What was that?
Am I nearby this?
Did you approach the square?
Probably would have, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, upon approaching the square, yeah, you probably see the person like run up to the crowd, shout out at them, and then turn around and talk to... you would know now. Orange denotes the rank of essentially what would be a lieutenant. They're known as ghosts. And that person is particularly, besides the leader of the town, the highest ranked person in the town.
Okay, cool.
You've probably seen them before, but not really interacted with them much.
The military presence here is pretty new, right?
Well, the
far as I
major
remember.
military presences, this is a person that's been here for a while.
Oh,
anyways.
okay. I just never been introduced to him or talked to him at all.
But
Okay,
you've
cool.
seen him. You know that he's been here for a couple of years now.
Okay, cool.
But they begin to lead you off, and you see this 8.5 foot tall person.
You're 8.5
Goliath
feet tall?
walking
Speaking of,
past.
before they lead me off, do I see Torvar?
I would say it's easy for you to spot Torvar. I mean, you've been traveling together for like about 2 weeks at this point.
Just give him the.
I'm gonna act like I don't know him.
Well, I didn't exactly point at you.
Is there someone nearby that I know from the town?
Well-
just within speaking range, like kind of.
I wouldn't say no.
quit talking.
Given how kind of inclusive you were, you do know the person that you traded with, but they currently are not actually here.
Okay.
Which is a bit odd because you know them to be people that would definitely come to a town square gathering.
Have I heard of anything like this happening, where like families and people are like
No.
being killed?
So I would say the last time you made a trip to town was
quite a while ago.
Quite like 3-4 weeks ago.
Yeah. I mean,
So
cool.
probably towards the end of the Long Dark, or
Oh,
London.
okay. All right. Anyone higher up that I know?
Higher up
Around?
than the guy with the orange band.
Well, anyone say lower than him or
Oh, I mean, there's Town's Guard. They all have the same rank,
Oh, okay.
even if they're Town's Guard, because of how Drogne's military works.
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
all part of it still.
okay.
So, yeah, there's definitely people all over the place with lower bands. You don't see very many orange band people, if at all.
Oh, I'll just walk straight up to the orange band, man.
Okay, straight up to the door. So, Sigard, you're following behind this dwarf who's just walking off, and some guards. You notice too, by the way, that the guard at the very back is keeping a very intent eye on Singard.
On the big dude, yeah.
Yeah.
Fair. As I'm trying along, I'm just staring at him the whole time. It's like, what in the world?
Yeah, and you see.
Okay, so
If you want to introduce your
yeah,
character.
I'll
Or,
let you.
describe.
So you see this, what you assume is a tiefling, just because he looks really weird. He
Sure.
is he's a 3-horned tiefling. So they're still pretty short, but they're about like a couple inches long. And then there's 2 that sprout normally, and then there's 1 that's sprouting in the middle of his forehead. His skin is pale white, but like his extremities are tinted green, and same with his horn tips. But his hair is like a bright fiery red, and it's kind of like a wild wavy hair style going on. And he's in what you assume is leather, because it looks like it's all just hand made together, and so it's just kind of woven together of random animal parts and whatnot, of animal hides. So, and then also like random like tree branches and leaves and whatnot. If you've seen a weird hunter hermit, this is probably what he is. But and then he also has like a little traveler's backpack with him that's also like handmade. You can tell it's not really good, but it's usable. And
So
it's,
a tiefling Davy Crockett.
and then he has this sort of like a short like little poncho kind of going on. That's you can tell underneath is probably some sort of cloth, and then on top of it is sort of like a gathering of autumn colored leaves, sort of like a little camel going on. But yeah, he looks really weird. He looks extremely weird.
Any visible weapons or anything like that?
No, he has a book on his side.
Okay.
A rather small book. It's about the size of like a imagine like a diary or something like that. And he has he has a sling as well.
Okay.
Other than that, he has a couple of daggers, but that's pretty typical of anyone around here. And then on his backpack is strapped a little hand axe. Looks like he just uses for everyday traveling and whatnot. But other than that, yeah, no, that's all you can see. He kind of just like trots up with holding his backpack and just kind of stares at the really big dude who he's never seen before. And then he'll just go straight for the armband dwarf.
Yep. All right. They do notice your presence. They turn and look, and you see their jaw like tighten a little bit. Give you that like nod to
Hey.
acknowledge your existence, but you haven't talked before, so.
Yeah. Hi. What's going on?
Well,
It's been a
there's
Few
been a
months.
few murders here in recent
What?
weeks. Well,
When
we're
did this start
going
happening?
to find out where and what the hell happened this time. But maybe 2 weeks back there was something, and then another maybe a week before that there was another thing. There's people who would know more. I'm not directly handling this. I've been delegating the work as I've been dealing with new arrivals, so we'll talk to my men when we get on the scene.
Is there anything I can help with? I mean, I kind of more familiar with the wildlife, I guess.
If it's something that needs hunting and is not human, then maybe, but...
What's that supposed to mean?
Well, we're not entirely sure what is killing these people.
Oh.
Like I said, I'm not the person to talk to about this, though. I'm just leading... Kind of like turns and looks... Singard up to it. I guess.
You sure he's not the one killing people?
That was my first thought. Then again, I'm not so sure it wasn't you. Don't see you around very often.
I don't know how long you have.
suspicious?
Just because you've been here longer doesn't mean you haven't been murdering.
Yeah,
He kind of like turns and brushes you
All
off a little
right,
bit
all right.
and starts
That's
like
fair.
continuing.
Before I follow that parade, can I take a look around to see if there was anyone maybe listening or watching the crowd that wasn't explicitly a part of the crowd?
You make a... Oh, boy. You want to make a perception check on that?
First roll, yo.
Yo, now what? Do it.
Set the tone. Set the tone.
Do it. Do it.
Well, natural 19, so 26.
Okay, that's not the set of tone. No. With the 26, yes, you definitely notice that there is a hooded, like robed, like dark, kind of like a darker gray, probably some kind of like fleece or something, wool cloak with a little bit of like furs that are just poking out from the inside. Person with a cane just kind of like keeping an eye on the crowd and noticing, like you see him definitely keeping track of Singard currently and the dwarf, and they begin to like move parallel with them.
Can I try and sneak up behind this person?
Yeah, absolutely. So you begin, you just like kind of trying to quietly walk up behind them?
Yeah, it seems like they're kind of paying attention to something else. I'm not going to, like, Pink Panther my way over there, but...
I mean, but are you actively trying to hide your presence from them? Okay.
Like,
make a
stay out of
stealth
their
check for
sight.
me. Okay. As you begin walking up to them, you are in chainmail.
Yeah,
and
I
it does
know.
jingle.
I have a disadvantage on it.
Ching, ching, ching.
7.
Wow. As you're beginning to approach and like sneak up on this person a little bit, like trying to like quietly keep your chainmail going, it rattles really loudly as you accidentally brush up against somebody who's like holding some kind of shovel from the shoveling they were doing off of their roofs, and it just clangs off the metal part. And as soon as it does that, the person turns and looks, and then like notices that you're walking towards them, and looks back over towards Singard and the dwarf, and then looks back at you, and then begins to move a little quicker. They are definitely walking with a little bit of a hobble.
Are they still following them? Or did they veer
It
off?
looks like they maybe changed directions, but they definitely are still keeping an eye on Singard.
Okay. I'm gonna...
They're maybe like 20 feet from you at this point.
Okay, I'm gonna maybe jog and catch up to Singard.
Okay.
Tap the big motherfucker on the arm. We're like, we're being watched.
I'm always being watched.
Not... look at the dwarf. I don't know who it is, but someone's watching you and following you.
Figure. Go follow them. Go on. And kind of points at the person who is wearing, I think, the green band. And they just kind of like give him this look like, really? Don't say anything, shake their head, and keep going. You would know that their rank is a wisp. They're the green band, and they're the lowest of the low on the rungs.
Okay.
And they start trotting towards that person.
Do I see this person right now? They're brought
You
attention to
do kind of see like the gray go behind some of the fieldstone houses, and then the other person starts going and bolting off towards them. You don't get a good like look at their front or their profile or anything.
Just how far away are they from the moment I like started looking?
I'd say 35 feet away.
35 feet. Ah, shit. Okay. Never mind then. All right. Well then, just in case, I'm just gonna look. I'm gonna blink a couple times, and then I'm gonna cast detect magic.
All right. Blink, blink, blink.
And then I'm just gonna look around in my surroundings.
All right. Well, looking around,
First
you
spell.
do see a few things. You do see a bit of a magical aura coming off of Singard, as well as Torvar
Okay.
and the dwarf.
And the door.
And let me
Or
just double
specifically
check.
items or the person themselves?
Well, there's magic emanating from something that they have on them.
Oh, they have them.
yeah.
Okay, yeah,
You'd have to focus in,
yeah,
remember,
yeah.
to
Yeah.
to look. Just doing a quick check. Other than that, you don't really see a whole lot of magic in the area.
Okay. That's fine.
There's about 2 items, I think, from you, Torvar, and
Yeah,
1 from you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Are any of them weapons?
No.
Okay.
As far as you can, when you like focus in and you try to detect on them what they're not really weapon in shape. Though
Okay.
you still kind of get like an amorphous feeling. They don't look like
Okay.
weapons.
Cool. I'm not as worried
Except
anymore.
for the dwarf, whose maul is a weapon.
I am slightly more worried now. Okay. Cool. I will then just kind of take a step back and just kind of stroll along with them wherever they're going.
Okay. Do you guys just follow along with the dwarf at this point?
Sure.
All right.
I'll continue following the dwarf.
As you guys follow, you move a couple of houses away. It's not a very long walk. The town is still, or the village really, is kind of small. You walk up to this house that currently has soldiers posted at each of the 4 corners, and it looks like a wall of soldiers, like shoulder to shoulder, kind of sitting there with these longer pike-type weapons, keeping an eye on the crowd and keeping people back from it, kind of forming like essentially a police line around it. You see at that moment also 2 guards looking to be like helping along or carrying somebody away from the house. But that's what you see as you approach. And as you get closer, you do hear one of the brown-banded people who are currently watching the house. Lieutenant Luca. It's another one, sir. We are not entirely sure what happened. There's no footprints again. There's nothing. It's just blood. And then Luca looks at the man and just kind of like frowns deeply. Go get someone who's better at investigating than you. Looks off towards the crowd again. All right, people, this is becoming a military matter. All of you clear out. I don't want to see any civilians around here. Until we figure out what has happened, you are going to contaminate the crime scene. And then wait here. I will check it out first, just make sure. And then Luca, the dwarf, walks forward and takes a look inside. Just kind of creaks the door open here. Peeks in. You see him kind of like plug his nose a little bit, look about, shake his head, and just kind of like frown and look downward, a little bit dejected. Turn around and go, well, the 3 of you got what you were looking for. You've seen the house of the murderer. Now what do you actually want here?
I thought that was obvious. Don't
Kind of
find-
like gives you that look like, what? I mean, you said
Something
you
is
wanted to
killing,
maybe
yes.
help, but killing is strange. But he kind of like starts to rub his forehead, and he looks towards the one with the brown band behind him, and tells him to go and find. Go find Leonard Koleski. We have some questioning to do. And it's at this point that the brown band guy kind of like nods his head and then trots off into the distance. He'll be back with a person who knows a lot more about this than I do. If you're really that interested, you could just question him. See if you can get something out of him that I did not. He's been at all 3 crime scenes before other people.
Before other people, or is the only survivor?
Before other people. Might be a survivor. Unclear. Could have been the perpetrator.
How big is this town?
This
roughly?
town? It's like I said, it's more of a village, and it's maybe got 30 buildings.
Okay.
Maybe.
What's its population size looking?
Like I said, there's maybe like actually 40 civilians in the town.
40 civilians.
And the rest is soldiers, and there's a lot of like, you're seeing them now that you're in the town. There's places where there's tents between buildings that have like snow on them that are being like pushed off. And further towards the back of the village, between the village and the forest. And the forest, by the way, is about 150 to 200 feet away from the village. Between that gap there are a bunch of tents out there. Looks like a ton of soldiers that are kind of meandering around and looking at stuff. There's also tent sections that are not military.
The non-military tent sections, how do they outnumber the military tents?
No, they're much smaller.
Much smaller. But roughly how many military does it look like there is versus...
It depends on if they're bunking more than one to a tent, which they most likely are. Looking at the number of tents, there could be upwards of 100 military people here. There could be a lot fewer. There could be a lot more too. It's hard to get a gauge unless you like walk out the back of town and actually start like counting, and that's not including the people who are in the town.
And so there's someone to talk to still right here with us?
Yeah, there's still Luca's still here.
Luca?
Yeah, the dwarf.
Oh,
He sent one of his lower.
turn to ask
subordinates
him, you said another one found. How many does this make now?
out. Well, I'm pretty sure you heard me say 3. It's
3.
a bit strange.
Anything linking them?
Gore.
Male, female. Yeah.
From my understanding, it was people for 2 of them and a lot of cattle for the last one.
Cattle.
Wait.
It wasn't a real murder, as far as I know. There's some speculation whether or not there was a farmhand involved. I did not handle directly the investigation. I got notified of it after. It's at this point that you do see the person with the brown band coming back with another person in tow. He's an adult person with kind of like a more of a modest body type, but he's definitely a full-figured, average height human. Has these like mercenary look to them. They have a leather chest piece and greaves with like a silken undershirt, which is a little strange. They have a shamshir weapon, rough-shaven person, medium length, like curly black hair, brown eyes, has like a darker tan skin, which you two wouldn't know a ton about, but Corvin, you do know that it probably denotes that this person's from Abulandir to the northwest.
To northwest.
Yeah, either from Abulandir or descended from people from Abulandir.
Okay. Have I seen this person around before?
This person, you have seen them around town before. Yeah, they've been here a while, like a
they've been
long
here a
while.
while?
Yeah,
Okay. Have I ever interacted with this person?
I wouldn't say this is a person you regularly
Okay.
interact with.
Yeah.
But they get brought up, and at this point, the dwarf Luca looks at the person who you guys are assuming is Leonard, and says, "Well, explain yourself. You've been at all 3 now." And Leonard kind of puts his hands through his curly hair. "Just because I've been at all 3 does not mean I committed anything. You can't prove it. And you know damn well that I'm not the kind of person to do this. This is horrible. Anyways, why did you call me this time? To fail another investigation?" And then Luca just kind of frowns and looks at him. Yeah, to question you, to fail another one until we find you in the act. It's at this point that Luca kind of scoffs at him, and then looks at the rest of you with a little strange look. Kind of like definitely looking at each of you up and down and like notarizing your faces.
Is my detect magic still going on?
It is.
Does he have anything on it?
He does not have anything on him.
Okay, cool. I will ignore everything and go straight to the house where the murder happened.
Okay. You just walk past the guards.
Yeah, just walk back casually.
Okay.
Just walk past them all.
Some of them kind of put a hand out.
Well, wait, hey, just checking the crime scene.
Just let him in. He's supposedly going to help.
I am going to help.
For all we know, you're the murderer and you're covering your tracks.
Maybe you're just a bad investigator.
I'm going to take that as a folly of your youth. And then turns and looks at Torvar, for once actually looking at you full up and down, and looks at the ring on your belt. Huh. Kind of looks you in the face. Definitely is paying way more attention than previously. You look like you have been. What is it? What do they call it in Fjolvard? It's a sort of shit. Vedmir. Vedemin. If I remember correctly, you're supposed to do something if this is a monster of some kind.
Yes, we hunt monsters.
If we find it to be so, I will be looking for you, if you're still in town.
I was sent here
You are-
explicitly to take care of this.
This? Or
I'm assuming this.
We were given
Interesting.
very vague instructions.
Wait, you hunt monsters? Like real ones or fake ones?
What's a fake monster?
Kind they tell kids?
In my experience, those are real.
I think he means fairy tale.
They're real?
So did I.
They're real?
Sometimes.
Fairies are real, so
I grab my book and start going through my book of fairy tales. Start showing you a random picture. This one?
What is
it's like a hag.
Yeah.
Well, are you obligated? Am I supposed to pay you or something?
I'm gonna say no. I'll take care of this one.
Good.
And then I'll look to, what was his name? Luca, or the guy who came up?
Luca's the dwarf who is talking to you.
the-
Leonard Koleski.
Leonard. We'll look at Leonard and ask.
Kind of like looks back at you and leans against a different building, is putting a hand behind a head and kind of looks a little bit upset though.
Someone said. Can you explain why you were found at all three scenes?
Well, you see, it happened like this. I heard cows being funny at night, so I went to check on them, and when I came, there were a few dead, and more blood than I thought would come from a cow. And the farmhand was missing, and I reported it to the guards. Wasn't a serious thing, cattle going missing. Not very strange during the long dark, London robs people of things. And then I was... Can we talk away from the guards, please?
No.
I have an image to uphold.
That sucks.
Alright, come a little closer.
I won't move at all.
Gets up from the wall, moves a little closer, talks in a quieter tone and says,
Singer
Look,
leans in.
I kind of like being a nice guy. The second set of people who died were elderly people. I helped them out regularly.
With?
Everything.
All right.
I mean, I make it seem like they're paying me, but I get to help them get their bread, their grain, their wheat. I helped fix their house a few times. I was kind of close with them. They were very kind people who did not deserve what happened to them. But I went to their house in the morning, one day, and all that was left was a lot of blood. And I reported it.
Now that he's closer to me, can I try and get a better look at him to see if there's anything that seems maybe out of place? Like maybe there's like some blood on a sleeve or like a tear from a scuffle or things like that.
Yeah, go ahead and make a... Make an investigation check. I will say that this means that you're not going to be able to get as good a read on him naturally,
That's fine.
because you're kind of distracted with
I
him.
will ask, Luca, do you have a map of the town and marked
I mean,
locations?
I do, but it is military.
Oh, you
so
want a map?
If you want the military map,
Do you have a map?
Oh no, I was looking for one too.
I rolled an
Ah.
8.
unless you wish to pay the military a hefty sum, no.
Do you perhaps have a map with the marked locations of the killings?
I can take you.
Do you want to pay for it?
I would like to see it.
Well, you can come with after this investigation is done to me to my office, and then look. You said you got an 8.
Yeah.
Looking
Fantastic
Leonard
roll.
up and down, you don't really see anything out of the ordinary. Other than that, he does look a little distraught. Like you see sweat kind of like coming down the side of the
Are
neck.
we running pest of floors?
Yes,
Oh, so pumps that to a 13.
I know.
Okay.
Can check out the house.
Outside or inside?
Inside,
Inside?
where all the blood is.
Well, you open the door, and what you see is what I can only describe as one of those like anime blood scenes.
Oh,
You open the door, and there is still blood dripping from the ceiling.
oh really?
Yeah, there's this like massive puddle that covers the entirety of like the living area of the inside of this little house. Now this house is like maybe 10 feet wide at the opening, but it's a good 30, 40, 50 feet deep. So it's a decent sized house. It is
how
definitely
many-
a farmhouse.
How many people were here living in this farmhouse?
In this farmhouse, you wouldn't know.
Well, how many people did they say it was?
Several people were
Several
either
people?
dead or missing.
No, like
In
Five
this one in
there's-
particular or in general?
Yeah.
In this one in particular, I believe they said it was 6 or 7.
oh jeez.
Yeah,
Uh,
with the last survivor being alive still.
I'm gonna check. Is it actually blood?
How do you check?
I lick it.
You just like bend over, you dip a little finger in it, you go,
No, I just look at the wall and just lick.
all right, you lick the wall. It tastes
not-
like blood.
Oh, okay. It must be blood.
Willy Wonka's horror house.
No one sees me do it.
Roll a d20 for me.
What?
Con
Me?
save.
What?
Guns. What have you done?
Why?
Because you just licked blood?
You forget what I am?
It could have been disease.
Oh, fuck, that's right. Never mind, you're good. Never mind.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I did. For just a little bit
jeez.
there.
Yeah. It tastes like blood.
Pretty good. No. No.
Yeah.
It definitely tastes like blood, though.
Oh, so it actually is blood.
Tasty.
Oh, okay.
You can see there's some of the beds in there are soaked. The like living area where the dinner table is just like covered. You do see that there is a rough hewn off arm of somebody laying on the floor in like the back right.
Oh, so there are body parts in here?
There are bodies in here too.
Oh,
it's
okay.
not just blood. It's just like the first thing you noticed was
Okay.
a massive amount of blood.
Oh.
There's together probably 2 to 3 people on the floor.
I open a book of fairy tales. Is there anything horror-wise that matches this description?
Roll percentile for me.
Percentile?
Yeah.
Oh, shoot. 28.
28.
Yes.
No.
Not
There's a couple of myths about like creatures that take people in the night, but nothing about people,
being
becoming a
painted
mess.
on the wall.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Do I know of anything that happened recently around the area, fate-wise? That
To your knowledge, I would say even if you wanted to roll, I'm just gonna give you the result there. To your knowledge, no, there hasn't been any weird thing about Fae, and you would be the one to know right
Okay.
now. There hasn't been any none of the offerings have been rejected. None of the people have purposely gone out of their way to taunt it, as far as you can tell, because you probably would have heard about it. And Rampage would not have had to protect anyone.
Fair.
So,
Is this
Anything
town
else?
within that area of influence?
yes.
Oh.
Yes.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Close enough to be that.
Oh.
Yep.
Okay, so it is a little...
At least half the town is, so probably the whole town.
Okay.
I don't really think of it as a radius. It's more like an area
Yeah.
that's just covered.
Cool.
Anything else?
No, I just walk back out and say, that's definitely blood in there.
Thank you.
Luca just kind of looks at you and goes,
Is that all you were able to discern?
Are you sure this was... Well, what are you thinking it is? Luca?
yeah. Luca kind of frowns a little bit. Our best guess is some kind of fae, or maybe some sick person. Maybe.
I don't
Maybe an
think
animal?
I don't think it's Fae.
Something from the forest.
I'm gonna go into the building. Just leave fucking.
Yeah, you just walk.
there.
Walk away from Leonard. Leonard just kind of.
Uh,
Oh, I was explaining to you. Why? What, you didn't even hear the third one.
assume you're lying. And I will. So I will go in and just take a look around, see the same thing. I'm assuming. And I'm gonna take the key ring off my belt. So what you guys see is he moves his cloak back and he pulls out what looks like a key ring, but with just a ton of different charms on it. There's religious symbols of various different deities and sects and different, symbols that might carry meaning behind certain things, and just a whole slew of them on his big, wrought iron ring. And takes them off. And can I see if anything is responding to the area?
I was about to say, as soon as you looked at it, as you begin to pull it out, you can feel it vibrating ever so slightly, like the whole chain, from one of the charms reacting in a certain way. Which one takes a little bit to figure out. You have to go through each. You go through the common ones first, and you come across this iron one. That's because they're all iron, but it's this iron symbol that has close relations to evil creatures of alignment that are fey in nature, and it just ever so slightly vibrates at the tip.
Okay.
And it's the one that's shaking your entire keychain for sure.
Okay. Torvar is going to reach back to the wooden chest that's strapped to the underside of his pack and flip a latch and pull out a little drawer. And out of that, he pulls a small book out of it and pulls it out. Can I flip through the book to see if there's anything in there that has anything to do with that particular symbol?
Yeah, I would say there's 3 or 4 things in the book easily that do have to do with that symbol in particular.
Okay.
There are certain kinds of vampiric entities can do it. there are goblinoids that do it, that are partially fey. There are certain hags it does affect. It depends on what kind of rituals they're doing and what kind of, like, in the moment, like, where their hexes and their charms lie and what kind of, like, things they need. And then there are fey animals that'll do it.
Okay.
It's like... It's not like the specific creature. It's more like, here's a pocket of the genus of that creature that
Okay.
would do it. You know what I mean?
So I was told before I came here that it was likely a Fey issue.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna obviously stick to the Fey ones. I'm gonna weed out vampire or anything like that right away. And then I'll go over to, I think it was Luca, and ask if any of those are common to the area.
Luca looks at the book of horrible things.
Yeah. If anyone catches a glimpse, it's literally just page after page of descriptions of monsters and, you know, how to take them apart and make things out of them and shit like that.
Useful instruction guide.
Looking at it, Luca kind of like shrugs a little bit, puts his hands in the air, kind of like I am, and goes, I mean, there are some goblins nearby, but that's about the best I can do.
Do you have anyone in town who is a frequent hunter, goes out into the woods?
Points at Corbin.
Convenient, I guess.
What do you think I'm helping?
I don't know. I assumed you were with him.
Thought you were.
This one came up here on his own.
Still confused as to why.
Is he making sounds or is he talking?
I'm not sure, really.
It's not my fault you can't hear me all the way
He
down
will.
there.
Torvar will close the book and put it back in the wooden chest under his pack, and put the keyring away. Say, okay, Leonard, can you maybe avail us as to anything you may have seen that would actually be fucking helpful?
Look, if I'm going to be perfectly honest, if you slide a little bit of money my way, it might help you. I'm kidding. I swear. I mean, he kind of like you could see the train rolling and then rolling back.
Yeah.
When you give him that look.
You know how earlier you said you like to be a nice guy? Yeah, do that now.
Hey, Ben,
What was it?
I'll go to him and hug his shoulder and use my fey presence to charm him. Say, hey, buddy, come on.
Was that like a DC or something? Or
And, yeah, he has to make a. Yeah, wait, never mind.
Make an
Never
O?
mind. It's an
no,
area
no.
effect.
it's too
Oh!
It's an area effect. Never
too late
mind.
now.
Oh, okay.
It's
okay.
too late.
Yeah. So I use it because I just got it. I don't know how to use it right. So I'm like tapping on the shoulder. I'm like, hey, buddy, and then I just kind of, and then so it's like weird, like quick burst of like greenish, like teal, bluish
You fart.
wind, kind of like, yeah, just kind of burst real quick, and anyone in a 10 feet radius of me,
So Sigard and Torvar.
each
He
creature
ate
in a
and make a
10-foot
pallet.
cube from me, make a wisdom saving throw or become charmed.
All right.
DC 14.
Do they know if it fails?
Well, it's charmed. I'm guessing.
Yeah, I think
Well,
charmed.
I mean, it says specifically descriptions. If it fails, do people notice?
It doesn't say.
If
Okay.
it's just charmed, I think you know.
Yeah, I think it's just
okay.
charmed.
Wisdom?
Yeah.
Yep.
DC 14.
Ooh, I just make it with a 15.
21.
What the heck?
Wow.
You guys min-maxing over here? What's going on?
No.
I just barely made that. I rolled a 12 and got a
You said
plus
the DC
3.
was
14.
14. Well, the guy you're talking to does not. The three guards in the opposite direction immediately turn, and you hear armor clinking and weapons being drawn behind you a little
Oh,
bit.
yeah, Torvar immediately goes to the sword on the back of his hip and draws it.
Everyone's a little nervous right now. Looking
Wait,
in
how
your
about the Leonard guy?
Leonard is the one who failed.
Oh, he failed? Awesome. I pretend I don't notice that they're freaking out. I only talked to Leonard because I assume it only affected him. And I just kind of keep talking.
All right.
Hey, so like, what happened, man? Come on, I've known you for a while.
Okay,
What's going on?
alright.
Hey guys,
Look,
keep
look.
it down. I'm trying to talk to him.
Look, I told you before. I walked upon the cattle because I heard some strange mooing. I thought I heard a little bit of a scream that got cut short. So I went to check it out because I really am trying to be a good guy.
Yeah, of course.
And that's when I found the bloody mess out in the farm.
You see anything around you? Anything else besides like the cow?
I mean, I saw lots of blood and I saw dead cattle, so I went and I got the guard because that is what you were supposed to do. I'm not trying to get arrested for no fucking reason.
Well, yeah. Well, what happened the second time?
And the second time, it was the two elderly people.
Yeah.
And I regularly help them out because I am a nice guy.
Yeah,
I
I'm
told
sorry.
your friend over there.
I'm sorry for what happened. Yeah.
The cards seem a little more lax, but they're definitely keeping an eye
Guys,
on you.
calm down. Be quiet. I'm trying to talk to him.
Make a persuasion check for me.
Oh, I'm completely oblivious.
I know.
I legitimately. Okay, cool.
This is more like, well, I mean, what's your passive persuasion?
Oh, my passive.
Yeah.
At this point, because he did that, I'm just gonna put the shield back on my back and put the sword away.
14.
A 14? Okay, yeah. They are a little, you can tell, well, I mean, you can't tell because you're oblivious, never mind.
Yeah.
You could tell. The guards behind are a little irritated, but they're believing, and they begin
Just
to
lean
step
over
away.
to Luca and go, does he do that frequently?
Explode? Yes, not as far as I know. That felt a little strange. Maybe like magic. Before that continues, Luca goes back to explaining that he went to help them in the morning because he helps the husband get their grain, bring it into the house, and then helps the wife clean occasionally. Helps her go and pick out good deals for fabrics so that she can do her knitting that she liked to do, and got some helped the older guy get some books that he might like to read, kind of thing, from traveling traders, and he went to go help them like he normally does in the mornings before people get up. And when he knocked on the door creaked open, and there was more blood inside. And the third time, which is this one, he was walking by through behind houses because he was a little distraught from the last people who died because he was a little closer to him.
Yeah.
And he says, as I was walking, I saw the door open, and for a brief moment, I thought I saw something small bolt, but I was very curious, so I crept up a little closer, and then the door swung open a little more, and there was a vast amount of blood again.
Is it something small?
It was. You kind of hold the hand up, maybe about 3 to 4 feet off the ground. It was very small. Could have been like a halfling or something.
Hey,
Maybe goblin.
Torvar.
Torvar.
Sorry, I just met you. And this situation is kind of crazy, but does that ring any bells?
2 legs or 4?
2.
Does it ring any bells?
I mean, it does sound like closer to the goblinoid fae creatures that you had heard of.
Okay.
There's 2 different types of goblins that could be, or goblinoids in the book.
I will show Corvin or Corbin? Corvin.
With the V. Yeah.
I will show Corvin one of the 2 pictures in the book and say, does this look familiar?
Do they look familiar?
Roll a history check.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Not one. So total 5.
Wow.
My favorite number.
Critical fail.
Yeah, not really.
Do I have advantage because I lived in this area?
Sure.
Okay. That's better. 14.
14?
I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
anything's better than
I
one.
mean, you've seen small fey creatures before, and goblinoid fey creatures before. It does sound like they could be in the area.
Out of those 2, do any of them look more familiar?
Both
than-
of the 2 that you are shown are not ones you have seen.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I look at the 2 pictures and I say, they don't look familiar. I don't think I've seen them around before. Maybe something else? You got anything else in that book?
A lot, but nothing that matches this description.
I mean, how much do I know about goblinoids?
I mean,
Like,
Other than that,
their
they
basic,
live-
their basic nature. Like, obviously,
well, it depends on if you're talking about ones that live in cities and stuff like that, or
Oh.
if you're talking about ones that are raiders, as they typically are.
oh,
There's two
more
different
like
kinds.
More like
There's-
the pharaoh kind.
They're typically not known to do this to just one house if they're going to do it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, like, if a goblin tribe decided to raid a village, it would be carnage, of course, but probably on the goblin side, for one in this village in particular, because of the military presence. Or on the other side of that, it would just be quick. This looks way more messy than quick.
I don't know about their basic nature, but I don't think they do something this dramatic and quiet.
Goblinoids. Easy to punt.
One thing I will say, Torvar, one of the 2 goblinoids, it classifies them as a goblin-type creature that likes the dark, but may or may not actually be a goblin, and they call it something like a darkling. And they're shadow creatures that like to crawl around to dark places and be quiet and do stealthy things.
Do I just not have enough information in my book filled out about those ones in particular?
Well, the books are filled out to the best of the knowledge of the person writing them.
Yeah.
So whoever wrote this passage probably didn't know all about them.
Okay.
The other one is a red cap, and they are known for not being quiet, being very loud, having iron boots that clang super loud when they walk into places. They're known to carry sickles and basically live to slaughter.
Okay.
Of the 2, it doesn't sound like that one. You probably hear a red cap a ways away.
Yeah. The gore is rather extreme.
Yeah, there are characteristics that could be either one of them from what you've observed in the situation so far.
Okay.
Singard, are you doing anything? Or are you just listening the whole time?
I'm
this is
pretty
happening?
much just listening here. Wait, just I mean, I'll look around. Does anyone look like they've been creeping by?
Make a perception check.
Hey, where's that guy who went to go find the robed person?
That's a good question.
Perception?
Yep.
Ah, there we go. That would be yes.
Fantastic.
That's the best number in the world.
I thought I said to set the tone.
Look, I set a tone. Now other people aren't following.
With a 5, you look up at the crowd, you look around, and you go, it's just guards and some people still trying to see. Doesn't look like anything out of the ordinary. Doesn't look like anybody's trying to be overtly creepy, although they are trying to, like, see what's going on.
I'll look inside the murder hut.
Murder. There's body parts that are about the room. Ooh, my bad. There are body parts that are about the room. There's like I said, 2 or 3 bodies in there. Blood all over the walls and ceiling and floors, and still dripping a little bit. Although I will say at this point, even when Corvin and you, Torvar, were looking at it, it is starting to dry along the edges, so it has been there a while.
Okay. I want to take a walk around the outside of this. How big is the house? I didn't ask that.
You didn't ask that?
Yeah.
The house, like I said, it's about 10 feet wide and like 30 to 40 feet.
Okay. I'm going to take a look around the outside of the house, just walk a circle around it and see if I can find any, like, tracks.
All right. Make an investigation check.
Addressing my attention back to Luca.
Investigation or something?
You can use survival if you want to.
Asking, when you found them, the door was open. Yes.
Leonard, you mean?
Leonard,
Okay.
yes.
Well, yeah. I mean, it was opened. As I was looking at it was later in the afternoon.
So the door was cracked.
More like I saw something leave, and then the door was left open. And I got curious, so I pushed it.
It
and
left through the door.
Yeah.
Looking around on the ground, is there any like scratches or indications
On
of a creature?
Of a creature, like on the door itself.
On the door, on the floor, just like around the exit.
Also make a survival check. But
Survival.
Torvar, what did you roll?
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. There are tracks that have blood around them in like this very circular boot type shape that lead out of the house and towards out of town.
Okay. Do those tracks look familiar at all?
They look
Or
like
is it just like
they're
books?
pretty dense, but the reason that they're leaving tracks behind is not because they're putting indents in the dirt. It's because there's blood on the bottom of the shoe.
Okay.
So as soon as the blood runs off the shoe and stops laying tracks, you don't see them anymore. You can follow it if you want, but you know that they're going to fade.
You said survival?
Yeah.
Right.
One.
A 1 total?
Plus 0.
Oh,
So
Plus 0.
1.
first net 1. Not actually the first net
Second.
1.
A
I
second,
know.
yeah.
Yeah,
in
that's
a
an actual,
session. Woo!
actual
First
1.
Total 1.
I took that on her.
Second.
Yeah.
Looking at
They
the
should
door, I mean, there's like little chips in the door, but that could be a rat. That could be a hand. Who knows? That made those chips.
I will shout around to the front and just say, like, I found tracks.
Luca, after hearing Torvar say that, Luca turns and looks at the guards who are currently like walling off the area towards the front door. Take some people and follow those as far as they go. I need to go talk to the survivor, if they're willing to talk.
This is a survivor?
They said
Did
one
you not hear the
survived.
crier say that there was a survivor?
Oh. Sorry, I was busy at the time.
Somebody like leans down and whispers in Luca's ear, and Luca nods. Two of the guard kind of like go and start looking at the tracks that you pointed out, Torvar, and then just like start following on either side of them. Excuse me.
Are they leading Leonard away?
Leonard? No, Leonard's staying there.
Is he there?
Leonard's not moving right now.
Alright, I look him down the eye and say, we're buddies, right? You're not gonna hate me in the
I
future
mean-
for no reason, right? Even
I
the little
wouldn't-
things,
I
right?
wouldn't say for no reason, but yeah, I guess we're kind of good friends.
Yeah.
I don't know much about you though, but
Oh, that's not important right now.
you're right. You're right.
Yeah. And if you ever feel some kind of hatred towards me, just brush it off, right?
I don't know why I would hate you, but
Exactly. Yeah.
as long as you don't do anything to deserve it, I'm sure I won't.
I would never.
All right. Strange.
I'll
I kind of
go.
like you though.
I'll go around to Torvar and
First thing.
follow the tracks.
Okay, so you start following the two guards that are following the tracks. Torvar, what are you doing?
I guess I'll go with them.
Are you following Luca?
Or
are you-
I think about it. Can I check if there's any prints on the door?
Like handprints, footprints, toe prints?
Yeah, handprints.
I would say Singard already
Oh,
kind
he did?
of
Okay.
was looking to see if
fine.
there was anything like that. So.
Well, I was looking for any scratches or anything. Anything
I
from
know.
an animal.
Oh, yeah.
But
that's
had
You were looking for a door handle, though, right?
had,
No.
Okay.
had you rolled a higher survival check, you may have found something. But I
Oh,
can't
it's
let
fine.
everybody make
Yeah,
survival
yeah.
checks
With,
across
with
the
a
table
0, yeah.
or investigation
Yeah,
checks
you're right.
on the same thing.
I will just think about it and then just go with them.
So are you heading with Luca, or are you heading
I'm
with the
heading
guards who are following the tracks?
I'm heading with these two.
Are
Torvar
you
and
following the
Singard.
track people?
Yeah.
Okay. So the group of 5 begin to follow things out of town as Luca leaves and starts heading elsewhere. 2 of the brown-banded people stay behind on either side of the door and make sure that it's closed and locked, and then just sit watch outside at like the front 2 corners of the house. As you guys follow the bloody footprints through the snow, you get these like crunches, and you can see the stride is very small, so it's definitely a smaller creature, which matches Leonard's description.
Quick question: what time of day is it?
Maybe another hour before sunset.
Okay.
But you continue following these footprints. They are getting harder and harder to follow as you go along. And after a certain point, the blood is no longer in the snow. It's like it's been washed off by the walking.
Mm-hmm.
And then maybe like 20 more feet as you're getting closer towards the edge of the hinterlands, the footprints disappear.
No, are they actually footprints, as in like feet, or are they like footprints, as in like boots and stuff?
They look like boot prints.
Oh, like boot prints?
Yeah.
Did they look like blueprints the entire way?
Yeah.
But it was something small. And it's heading towards the hinterlands.
Yep.
And it just stops about 20 feet from the forest edge.
Yep. Completely gone.
I'll
Like
take
it
out-
looks like whatever they were stopped leaving tracks all of a sudden.
I'll take out my key ring again
Okay.
and the charm.
She keeps vibrating in place.
Do I know what's in this direction?
The hinterlands?
In this
Uh,
particular direction?
Well, the thing about the hinterlands is that they change.
Oh,
constantly.
yeah, that's right.
So even if you knew what was in this direction, it would probably have changed by now.
Reach.
You do know for the first 100 feet or so of the forest, it doesn't change.
I'll reach it under my cloak and pull out my greatsword.
All right.
It just
Greatsword or longsword? Pretty sure you have a
greatsword.
longsword,
I have
right?
both.
Oh, okay. Greatsword.
So I'm just gonna reach over, and touch,
Touch what?
go reach past the feet prints with the sword.
Oh, so like swinging through the air to see
Yeah.
if there's anything there.
Pretty much.
Clean air. Nothing. No catches. No resistance.
I
How
will,
deep is the snow here?
The snow, it's super thin. Like I said, it snowed the day before, and there's
Yeah.
maybe like 2 or 3 inches of snow.
Yeah.
But even though it just snowed, you can see there's parts of the field that have like grass showing through. It's
Okay.
kind of like dirty and muddy snow.
I'll take 2 steps beyond the feet.
Okay. Cool. You're closer to the forest now.
And can I see anything on the forest edge?
Make a perception check.
Now, do the last footprints end abruptly? Like, are they together at the end?
They're not together at the end. It looks like the stride
like,
just fades.
Just fades.
Yep.
Okay. Doesn't look like they jumped off into anything or anything like that.
I mean, they could have jumped. You can look around to
Is
see
the
if there's
depression deeper at the last
No.
steps?
It looks to be the same as the rest of the travel.
Oh, okay.
How you rolling, Singard? Godlike. 7.
7? Nice. This is what you're good at. So, you were asking for if you see anything.
See
in the
anything on
forest line?
the forest edge? Any maybe silhouettes moving, shadows, anything like that?
I mean, you see an owl in a tree further in. That kind of just looks right at you.
I can't see anything.
Okay. I guess we go back.
Is the forest dark right now?
Oh yeah. You look into the forest and it just
Oh,
descends into
I will-
darkness.
I will turn to the guards and ask, at what time around do these attacks occur?
They look at each other. Well, Luca said that they came around. I want to say early in the morning for the last two.
And what of the first?
That's what they. Was the,
You said the last two. You said there were
not-
three.
Not the current one. The two before it.
Okay.
Wait, you guys can't see in this?
No.
You guys can't see that tree
The guards
that
both.
grew into the other tree right there?
No.
Look at what he's pointing at.
You guys can't see?
Do you have dark vision?
No.
No, you don't see anything.
Oh,
No.
I mean, if you guys want to follow, we can go further. I can see.
I'm still not sure I trust you.
Both guards nod.
Just
Give that, like-
You guys have known me for so long.
just gonna put the great sword on my shoulder. Lead the way, small one.
Actually, I am new to this area. I just came in here maybe a week ago. And the other one's like, shut up. Don't need to be telling people about military movements. You should know that you're at least under lieutenant.
Well, I'm gonna go back.
The two of them,
see if I can
one
find
of them
Luca.
like looks at the two of you who begin heading back and let them know I'm staying here to make sure that the tracks are not going anywhere. And the other guard just kind of looks at him.
You guys are scared. Just follow him back.
Oh, I'm not scared.
Lead the way, little one.
All right. You guys coming with us?
Well, one guard is staying. The other guard is coming with to tell somebody that he's waiting out there.
Oh,
I
that's what
I
I'm
will
saying.
bring up the rear, given I
I'm
have the
asking,
highest
I'm
height
asking the one
advantage.
guy
Okay.
who's staying if he's gonna come with us.
No.
But the tracks might be. You might have to drive the tracks down there. They're right there. You see them in the
But
forest.
if I guard the end, I don't have to worry about it.
The end's down there where we're going.
You're not going into the forest.
I start walking into the forest. You ready?
No,
Seeker?
there's no more tracks into the forest.
I will.
Oh, I know.
Oh, okay.
He's
I'm
leading
see-
into some path, but I'll see what he's leading
Trying
me
to
to.
convince
So.
him to come with us because I'm a little scared too.
Torvar, you turn around and you're heading back.
Yeah, I'm going back to find Luca.
Okay. You follow the footprints back. As that's happening, Singard and Corbin.
Okay.
You're just walking into the forest.
I can see.
I know you can see. You're just walking into the forest.
Kind of.
All right.
So.
How far in?
So I will immediately, first off, kind of shake a little bit, and then
Out of fear or just stretching?
both, and then I just kind of nudge my way in a little bit further, just take a couple steps and look back at the guard and see, yeah, and
Guard kind of gives you a look like.
I'll look. Since I don't see anything kind of obvious at the bottom. I'm gonna look towards like the upper halves of the tree more. I
Okay.
guess.
As you continue moving in.
Yeah, I'm
Right.
gonna go like 15 feet and then I'm gonna stop and then.
So
it.
outside the edge of the forest or into?
Oh, I'm going into the forest.
Okay, because you guys are like 20 feet from the forest.
Oh,
so I'm just trying
yeah,
to get a
no,
good
yeah,
gauge here.
15 feet in the forest. Yeah.
Okay, so you get to the forest edge and then you go 15 feet in. Are you following
I'll say right at the edge of the forest,
right at the edge? All right.
right
as
at the
you're-
tree line, in case anything goes.
As you're standing at the edge, you watch Corbin move in another 15 feet. You move in 15 feet and you see dangling from a tree to your right side. There is what looks to be some kind of like weird stringy thing in the tree branches. And as you like move in to get a little closer, the string kind of like comes loose from whatever is
Wait, why
holding
do I
it.
have to get closer?
Well, not actually getting closer. I mean, like like looking a little more intently at it. Sorry, let me clarify that.
Don't make me walk steps I haven't
You
walked.
get right up in there.
As that's happening, like a little gust of wind like blows by, and you see swinging down from the tree is this like bits of an arm. So it looks like this is like muscly sinew that was like dangling from a tree, and the arm just kind of like swings down, and there's like bits of it that look a little eaten, and it's just dangling there.
It's connected to like
It's connected to
string?
like muscle.
to muscle, like
Yeah,
a really long.
the weird like thing that you saw was like
Tendons.
like a tendon plus your like
Okay.
other muscles that are
Is there
attached to
anything
it.
around that might eat it?
I mean, there's animals in the forest. Anything that is carnivorous.
You are gonna eat it.
There are definitely
Not there
creatures
yet.
that would. I mean, like even the owl you saw would probably
Okay.
take some of it. The weird thing you noticed about it, though, is at the top of the first part of the sinew, there looks to be something like tied to it. And then as you're looking a little closer, again, you see as it like swings, there is like other bits of muscle tied to it to hang it up into the tree. And you see it bob a little, like the hand, bob a little. And then it kind of like moves up about like 6 inches.
What is it?
Yeah. And then it bobs a little more.
Is
And then it starts
there-
moving up 6 more inches.
Okay, I grab my sling
Okay.
and just grab like a little rock on the floor.
Okay. You reach through the snow, find a rock real quick.
And then I sling it into where I think is whatever is in the tree. Or like a
So you're just
branch.
blind firing?
Yeah, is there like
Alright.
a big enough branch to where something might be there above it?
Well, so it wraps up into the tree and makes like it definitely curves around a branch. You know how you would take like a rope and throw it over a tree,
Oh, yeah,
kind of
yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
uh-huh.
It does look like that, except for the tree kind of goes, or the whatever is tied to the ligaments and the muscle of that hand, like run parallel with the tree line, and then you just keep going off into the distance. And it like goes up 6 more inches as you're looking and you're trying to like fling.
okay, then I fling it and I'll fling it at the hand itself.
Okay, so like at the hand, or are you trying to like hit it down?
I'm just gonna hit it. So
You're just gonna hit it?
So if something interacts with it, yeah,
Oh, okay.
and see how
Um,
what
Make an attack roll
reactions
for
I
me.
get.
I'm getting fisherman vibes.
How far away from am I?
I would say it's still sort of swinging.
No, how far the
the arm.
range?
I know. I would, like I said, it's still sort of swinging. So I'd say between 10 and 15 feet. When it swings closer to you, it's 10 feet. When it's
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it's within my range, right?
Oh,
For
yeah.
a sling. Okay, cool. 16.
a 16,
Yeah.
ding, you hit the hand. Right as you hit the hand, it moves through the tree super fast.
Hell no.
And you hear it like slide across the branches as it just disappears off into the forest.
Ooh.
Sigurd, you just see this hand, like this arm, like wangling, and then
That is 50 pounds of nope.
Do I know of anything that does anything like that here around here?
I mean, there are dark fae. There are good fae and there are bad fae.
Oh yeah.
Right.
But I'm
You
saying,
are on
like,
your own.
generally,
Forget checking out this forest.
There's giant spiders. Giant spiders might do it if they're fast. There's
But they'd use their own webs, wouldn't they?
maybe.
Maybe. Okay. Cool. All
It
right.
You got a
Depends.
very
Oh God!
creative spider.
Why
Yeah.
am I getting like pictures of like a web made of sinew and tendon?
Shh, stop spoiling things. No,
I'm just getting a picture of that.
Oh,
that'd be
my
horrible.
gosh. Is it
Anyways.
what I think it is.
I'm not telling you. Anyways,
Did you bring those back? Okay, my character knows nothing.
Exactly.
I will.
No matter.
Corian will just 180 and
I think it's time to leave.
without saying anything, all the way back to town.
Walk with
Just
purpose.
dead silence leaves.
So, do you know what can do something like that?
Walking
I want
to the
to
guard.
know.
Nope.
Oh, now you
Because-
see stuff
yeah.
in the forest.
That guard shit himself.
A little bit.
Correct me if
Does
I'm
begin to walk with you back away.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but was whatever that was fishing with the arm.
I don't know what you're talking about. Start walking faster.
And I just look at the guard, look for for an answer.
Shrugs his shoulders, just keeps his head down and moves in further along the pace with Corvin.
Just mumbles some crap in some language.
Some language.
Well, I don't think you. Do you speak my language?
I don't know what language.
Yeah. You just mumble something in another language.
Yeah. I mean,
Probably,
if you're
probably
mumbling,
quietly.
I probably wouldn't hear anyways.
While this is going on, Torvar,
Yep.
you are heading back to find Luca.
Yep.
You ask around for Luca, or you just look for him?
Well, I'll probably ask the guards. I'm assuming we didn't travel too far to follow the footsteps.
I mean, you traveled to the edge of the forest.
I don't know how long it took.
It's like 80 feet.
Yeah,
not super
so
far.
I'm assuming he's not too far away from me.
Well, I mean, there's
Yeah.
turns and stuff like that he had to take to get to where he was going.
I'll
so.
ask one of the guards that was at the door and say, oh, which way did Luca go? I'd like to speak to the survivor as well.
Yeah, Luca went into the... dang, what was their name? Valeria Galuski.
Come again?
Valeria Galuski.
Right, where is that?
You would not be able to go in unless you had Luca's permission. I'm assuming it's Luca's office.
Okay.
It's probably where they took the kid. It's the only other tall building in town.
Okay, thank you. That's
Yeah.
relevant info.
Oh, that's what
Then
you were
go
looking
to
for. Yeah. So you begin walking off in that direction.
Yeah.
You find the other tall building. I mean, it's easy. It's not the church, so it's like a two-story building that has. It actually does have like some pretty solid glass windows to it. Its structure is. It's got that like fieldstone look that the rest of the houses do, up to the height of the houses, and then above that is another set of wood
Okay.
that has these like kind of massive like stone pillars built. Think like cabin in the woods kind of feel,
Okay.
but there's actual planks of wood on the side instead of just giant logs. And there's like an entranceway right to the front of it. It says on the front. Office of the Office of the inner or of the outer circle.
Office of the outer circle.
Yep.
Okay. Is the door open?
Sorry,
or
not
is
office.
it-
I said office because I was thinking of Luca's office. It's residence of the outer circle.
Okay. Does that mean anything to me?
Outer circle?
Yeah.
I wouldn't say you're particular. Well, no. I would say you do understand that the outer circle is like their lowest level political party.
Okay.
I say party, but it's not really a party. You know, it's an empire. The outer circle is like their small town, like people who kind of like govern and manage their smaller towns. Then there's the pillars, who are a little higher up, and then there's the inner circle, or
Okay.
I believe it's the inner conclave, and they are like the top advisors for the emperor. They're like the people who make the core decisions for Drognia as a whole.
Okay.
You're not super versed in who those
Yeah,
people are,
that's-
but you know of them.
Okay. Is the door open or closed?
No, it is closed. Currently, you don't see anybody on the outside. There's a kind of like a knocker that you see kind of comes down, and it's got like these two horns, and it definitely looks like the front mouth of like a small dragon head.
I'll go up and knock on the door.
It makes that knocker sound. A guard looks in, or not looks in, looks out as you creaks open like this little sliding glass, or not glass. Dang. You know what I'm talking about. I
Like a
don't
little
have the
slab
word for
of
it.
wood.
Yeah, like a little slab.
Peeks open.
Looks out. What do you want?
I'm looking for Luca.
Luca's busy.
But I'm here to help. Tell him the vitamins he... Oh, damn it.
You hear footsteps on the inside. Then you hear a little bit of yelling, just like muffled through wood. And then you hear more footsteps coming back and the door open. Luca will see you. You look inside, and the front here is just like it's 2 walls, a door on either side, and then a big double door in the far end. And they point towards the door on the right.
Okay.
Or sorry, left.
Okay. I'll go up to the double door.
Yep.
Assuming it's
The double door. So there's one door, double door at the back from when you're looking in.
Oh, is that like on the back wall?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was like to a.
No. There's a right wall, there's a left wall with a door and a door, and then the far wall is basically just a giant double
Okay,
door.
I'll look at the guard and just like.
Yeah, he points to his left, which would be your right.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I'll go to that door and
Yep.
I'll just open it.
Open it. As you look in, you see that there's a couple of like cots. It looks like there's a couple of barrels and crates and a couple of like grain sacks in here. Not super well organized, but there's definitely a path you can walk. And you see at the far end, currently the door is closed, and you hear some very light like talking sounds coming through the door.
Okay. I'll walk up to the door and just give a little knock.
You knock on the door. Is this the Torvar Vedamin?
Yes.
Come in.
I'll open the door.
All right, you open the door, and at this point, you see there's a guard kind of in the back corner. At this point, there is a adolescent child sitting in a chair in the middle of the room,
Okay.
which you see they have this like outer blanket thrown on them to keep them warm, and their hair is a little wet. It looks like they've been recently bathed. From what you can pick up, this is probably the person you saw being helped away from the house earlier.
Okay.
But they've been cleaned up. They look much better than they probably should. They're kind of fit / thin, so they're definitely built for some kind of labor, but they're really thin. You can tell by the kids' hands holding the blanket that they're farmers' hands. You can tell in the calluses and the way that they are. Wearing a very simple brown like cloth pants, and same with a sackcloth shirt that has like mismatched patches from different kinds of fabrics, like that have patched over holes. It's a long old one. The child has short blonde hair and like green bluish eyes, but you can tell that their eyes are kind of like a little dead, and their mouth isn't moving, and they're just kind of like. And at this point, Luca turns and looks at you and goes, "The child is catatonic. Can't get anything out of him. Probably something traumatic."
Being skilled in herbalism, do I know of anything I might be able to like quickly whip up to make the kid snap out of it? Like maybe some smelling salts?
I mean, you
or
could
anything
easily,
like
you
that?
probably have smelling salts.
Yeah.
I mean, it would get a reaction.
Maybe snap him out of it?
In a lot of cases, it probably would. It depends on how deep into the catatonia they
Yeah.
are, because some people don't come out of that for even when they're in danger. So, yeah, do you want to try making some smelling salts or something
Sure,
quick?
yeah.
Pulling them out?
He reaches back and pulls a drawer out of the wooden chest on the other side and just pulls out a little vial of it. And I'll
Hold it up.
wave it under the kid's
Wave it.
nose.
You see this like, you see the nostrils like flare for the sniff, and then immediately seal up real quick, and there's like a recoil and a grimace on the kid's face. But their eyes don't seem to come to. Got anything else you would like to try?
Nothing that's humane.
Yeah. I'm guessing you have no words of persuasion or anything that might work.
Do you know, is this the child of the people who died?
There's one of the children, yes.
How old does this kid look to be?
You would guess 14 or 15. So it's not like a young kid. It's definitely adolescent, you know, possibly like almost an adult in this case. But still young-ish. You do see they are like shaking very lightly. And occasionally reaches an arm over and rubs like the bottom of an arm, like right down here on it.
Can I maybe get a better look at that? See if he's
Blanket over it right now, so it's a blanket, and it's not like the bottom of the arm. It's more like on the inside bottom. Oops.
I'll maybe go down on like one knee in front of the kid and just bring myself more eye level. And I'll grab the keyring and I'll just hold it up. And I said, "You know what this is, kid?"
There does not seem to be any.
I figured. I said, "This means that I hunt monsters."
Okay. Continue.
Whatever it is that did this to your parents, your family, I will find it, and I will kill it, and I will personally bring you its head. But you've got to help me and tell me what you saw.
Make a persuasion check for me.
Persuasion 8.
8?
Yeah.
The kid definitely looks at you for a minute. You see, there's like a moment where they come back to, and then it goes again.
All right. I'll just stand up and put the
But
key, the ring back in my belt.
as you're standing back up, there's like an intense itching through the blanket in that one spot.
Okay, I'm just gonna grab the blanket from around his shoulders and pull it away.
They do not stop you
Yeah.
in this case. As you pull it away, it's a longer sleeve outfit, but you can see that there's like a little bit of blood in a circular shape in that area where they're currently scratching. And as soon as you pull the blanket away, they scratch a little more intensely.
I'll look to Luca and say, "Help me here," and I'll like stop him from
Comes over.
scratching.
Yeah. Luca kind of like pulls the arm away and holds the scratching arm.
You take a
The
look at it
hand
to
still
see-
is doing the like a little more intensely.
Take a look at the wound and see if there's anything off about it.
Slide the sleeved arm up, and when you do,
Oh boy.
Finding all sorts of weird shit.
arm
Everybody.
attacks you.
Yeah. Phantom limb syndrome.
you see carved into the arm.
Okay.
And I say carved because it's not a natural thing. It doesn't look like it's been like scratched in very lightly either. But this doesn't look like something that would happen from a knife.
Okay.
This looks like it's very strange. It's not a wound that's caused by actually cutting flesh. It's more like it appeared.
Okay.
It is this kind of wide at the base horn that spirals out, kind of like a unicorn horn,
Okay.
but it spirals out more like a rhinoceros horn. And coming from that is a piece of, so here's the horn, then there's looks like a dragonfly feather, just the top part of it. And then right here in that circle looks like a cat's eye marble. But it's like an impression made in the flesh there. And you can see there's like abrasions across it where the kid was scratching and is still trying to scratch.
Is this a symbol I might recognize? Or a collection of symbols that I might recognize from how I was trained?
Yeah, make a history check.
Okay.
I would say there's no advantage or anything like that for this, because this is what you can tell. This is kind of newer. So
Damn. 4.
4. Yeah, unfortunately, this is not something that you really recognize.
Rolling like gods to die.
You can see too, as the kid's hand is continuing to scratch, the symbol is also starting to be scratched away, even as the kid is, like, the air scratching. Whatever they're doing is affecting it.
Okay. I'm gonna take I don't remember what symbol it was, but one of the charms on the charm that was reacting before, and grab that.
All right. You pull it out, and it's vibrating about as much as it was when you were close to the forest.
Can I touch it to the wound?
As it gets closer, it starts turning red,
Uh-huh.
and then orange, and then white towards the tip. And if you touch the child with this, it is going to burn the child.
Okay, maybe not.
Yeah. Like, you start getting it closer, and then it starts to, like, sear in your hand even.
Uh-huh. Just gonna say under my breath, I really wish this thing came with an instruction manual. Okay. Do I have anything like I don't have like a healing potion or anything. Can I like, is there like a salve I can fish out of my herbalism kit to at least soothe it or try to?
I mean, you could probably whip something up real
Yeah.
quick. It's not gonna, like, fix it.
No.
But it's more like you mash up a couple of herbs and you just put it over there, and hopefully it'll heal.
Yeah.
You could probably
Like,
find
wrap it
some,
with some cloth
if you
or
didn't have
something.
some. Which, at this point, you probably do have some.
I
You've
might
been
have
traveling for a
something,
couple
yeah.
of weeks, so you probably picked some
Yeah.
up on the way. But yeah, so I'll say you quickly mash something up and you put it on the wound and put some cloth over it. But the kid continues to make this, and then Luca sees what's happening and, like, takes the kid's hand and kind of, like, presses it backwards, and then you see, like, Luca is struggling, and Luca does not look like a small person. Luca uses them all.
Yeah.
And is, like, pressing against the kid's hand before the kid's hand kind of, like, and you see, like, his hand, like, crumples a little, starts going, like, you see the indents on the hand, and Luca's like, "Oh, child, it's taking a lot not to hit you." And then releases all of a sudden.
Cool. Okay. That is weird. Did the kid stop, or?
Yeah, not trying
Okay.
to scratch or anything, still just kind of sitting there shivering.
Put the blanket back over him. Okay.
What did you do to this kid? It's a little messed up.
Nothing
He's
that
trying to,
I
like,
did.
quietly. I mean, you obviously did something. You aggravated it, maybe?
I will walk out of the room and just sort of motion to Luca to follow.
Okay. Luca follows you out of the room and, like,
Yeah.
basically points to the guy that's sitting in the corner and looks down. The guy in the corner is kind of looking at the whole situation like, what the hell?
I'll look at Torvar or Luca, and I'll just say, well, I don't know if I have anything in my book for this. We followed the footsteps back behind the house, and they disappeared.
They just
stopped.
left.
About 20 feet away from the edge of the hinterlands. The others went in. I'm not so suicidal to walk into the hinterlands at night.
That is probably a good plan. So you've got nothing. You're back to square one.
Unfortunately.
Fantastic.
Maybe we should go check to see if the others are alive.
Before that happens, there's a
Quick question.
sir coming from inside the room. Luca kind of like turns around.
I'll turn.
Luca like reopens the door. As Luca reopens the door, Luca like cocks his head and kind of looks a little confused. You kind of like peek in over Luca because you're taller than Luca by like a foot. And as you peek in, the kid is like eating food off the desk that was left there, probably brought to help soothe. But begins to just like cram food in like a crazed, hungry person. Not like actually crazed, but they seem a little more full of life suddenly.
Just whisper to Luca. What was the child's name?
Pavel Lukowski.
Does the kid react to that at all?
Looks over. But then goes back to shoveling food in.
Huh.
You just let that one go?
Yeah.
Alright. Fair enough. It's weird shit.
I will stop looking at the kid and just ask Luca, say, did that guard that you sent after whoever it was that was following you ever return?
Excuse me for just a second.
Yeah.
Wrong tube. Now that you mention it, I don't remember seeing them.
Maybe that's our next stop then.
We definitely have to put some guards up. I'll call some people to look into a grey man with long stick. Fantastic.
See if you can get anything out of Pavel. I'm going to go make sure that the others aren't dead.
Nods and then walks back into the room as you begin to leave. As you're walking out of the building, you do see the others coming in, but you hear some rustling to your... So you're looking out of the building. The office is to your left right now. You hear some rustling in some leaves nearby in the front of the building. To the left.
I'll look.
Okay. As you look, you see this like tiny little cane poking up from the tree, from the leaves that's starting to like move through a bush away.
Is it within arm's reach?
No, it's like 10 feet away.
Oh.
Singard and Corvin, at this point you do see the guards that were guarding the house again.
Oh.
And have definitely made it back to them. We'll get right back to that.
Do we see Torvar?
No, Torvar has gone off to another
Oh
building.
yeah, he's a different building. So we're at the
The house
At
that
the
had
house
all
now,
the
right?
stuff. Yeah.
okay. I just look at them and say, where was Luca's tent again? We found something.
Captain Luca is
Point.
permanently stationed here as long as the council is. So it's
yeah,
the
where's-
second other big building,
Oh,
not
that
the
guy.
church.
Yeah, I know it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright.
Whatever you guys do, don't go anywhere near the forest.
Definitely do not go into the forest. Do not go into the forest. the guard is like,
You should probably tell people to not grab stuff that are being
dangled.
dangled. I
And
look
the
at the
guard
guard
picks
who was with us. Good. Dangled from the trees.
Advice for the fish.
So, yeah, definitely don't pick any fruit, especially if it's low hanging.
Yes. Yes. Okay. And I start running.
I thought you were supposed to pick the low-hanging fruit.
I start, yeah, wherever Luca's building is, I start charging over there.
Okay, Singard, you're just sitting there. Are you following along?
Just,
As you're walking away, you hear the one guard, dude, there was a hand that sucked into the tree. I don't know what happened. It was terrifying. I'm not going near that forest. I don't care what the orders say.
nope. Nope.
But you guys begin moving off towards the taller building. It doesn't take very long to get there. But during this time, Torvar, you see the person kind of like slowly making their way through the bushes away. There's a window to Luca's office, and they were just underneath it, and they are now moving away slightly.
Can I just take both of the hand axes on my hips and just like throw them on either side of them to pin them?
Sure. I would say
Don't
I don't
go
think you need
anywhere.
to make an attack roll for this. I would just say make like an athletics check.
Okay.
Is there an accuracy check?
Or yeah, not athletics, dexterity check.
Just a straight, like a dex save?
No, not like a save, like just like a check of your dexterity to make sure that you're not bouncing them off the wall.
Skill check.
15.
15? You're good. Nothing bad. Right into the wall on either side of the person.
Going somewhere? I have more.
That's it.
One more. Got sand crab out.
I wish to kill the things that invade my town, Vitamin.
And kind of like creaks out from the bushes towards you. You see this gray cloak, cane. At this point, you see this is a very like old man who looks like they're in squalid condition. Pretty frail looking under the cloak. Like the hands are pretty like bony. Half work gentleman. Kind of. You could tell they were listening into the conversation. He's got like a dark gray. Now that it's nighttime, he has switched cloaks as well. I should mention that.
Okay.
To a darker gray cloak. And is wearing currently military fatigues with like tattered green and black holes all over them. Old clothing.
Okay.
Kind of gets like a little bit of a frown in his staff. And one of the things you see is a tattoo on the back of the hand, which is a tattoo for Selfit.
Okay.
It's definitely I think it's a hammer cracking an anvil in half, like a lightning pattering through an anvil.
Self it was what again?
Selfit is the god of strength and craft.
Okay.
Yep. Or sorry, goddess of strength
Okay.
and craft.
I wish to find and kill the thing that did it to those people, Vitamin.
Then why do you sneak around?
Who is going to let an old man do that?
And he kind of like throws his cloak back a little bit. And when you do that, you see this like really old graying armband that you see the color. You see it is... Wow, I just have band written there. I forgot to write the color.
Bam.
It is purple,
Okay.
which doesn't mean a ton to you, I don't think. I don't think you really,
Not really.
know super well the thing. But just kind of, like, the face is kind of, like, wrinkly and stuff like that. And there you do see there's, like, a tusk coming out of one side, a cracked tusk on the other one. Now that you can see their eyes a little better in their face. And they've got
Well,
these, like, gray eyes.
Where I come from, age means wisdom and likely survival skills.
Yeah.
So,
So you're here to hunt a monster.
yes.
And we'll cut the break with that.
Okay.
We're going to take our half-hour break. We will be back here in about 30 minutes, give or take. We'll see you around.
Yep. So, roughly 9:30. Going to break?
Stay tuned.
Like I said, the old half-orc gentleman looks at you and says,
Let's go, Vitamin.
Torvar?
Yeah, sorry. What did he say?
He said that he wanted to hunt the monsters.
Well, do you have any idea what they might be?
No, that's why I was looking in. To find out.
Well, what information have you gathered skulking through the bushes?
Something about mumbling inside. I saw the crime scene of the house. I feel like I'm going to be on my way to crushing something in the forest.
Possibly. Well, maybe go inside and talk to Luca.
Luca never talks to me. He thinks I am too old to be serving in the military still. Even though I outrank him.
Do you still?
I've been discharged 10 years ago. But it's not. It does not count. I am still of my rank.
Of course. I'm just gonna walk around him and go pick up my axes that I threw.
Shink, shink.
Yeah.
Pull him out of the house.
And say, okay, well, I was on my way to find the others that were following tracks.
They were following tracks.
Yes,
Was the boy okay?
possibly.
Well, you made the promise. One we should probably keep.
So you heard more than mumbling.
He smirks a little bit and starts heading off in the direction of the first crime scene. In that manner, you guys kind of like meet as you were heading the same direction as each other.
Oh, good,
Well,
you're alive.
opposite.
How tall is your turkey again?
About 6 foot.
6 foot. Okay, you're not that much taller than me.
Yeah, just like hunched over yellow man. By the way, when you accept his offer to do stuff, he kind of like sits up a little more straight and lets the shoulder come off his hump, which you now know is entirely fake. And he stands up, and he's actually like 5'6", so he's kind of short for a half orc. But he has this like intense muscleage under his clothes that you couldn't quite see before, even though he's kind of like thin looking still. He's very muscular still.
You're alive. Just better.
We shouldn't have gone into that forest.
Something fishies with limbs.
There was a limb, and it was being dragged. It was being pulled, and I hit it with the rock, and then it through the trees, and then we ran. I don't know what it was.
Did you see what pulled it?
Sinew
It was a rope made of tendons.
Tendons?
Sinew.
stuff. I don't know.
I say rope.
I don't think I signed up for this.
Unfortunately, you did.
I mean, you're the monster hunter, right?
Yes.
Did
Alright,
you offer
what-
your
what's-
services?
What's the plan then? I as much as I hate it, can't go back in my word.
Does this sound at all familiar?
The dangly sinew hand?
Yeah,
that
like is
snakes
this
in
like
the
a
trees?
hunting tactic of anything?
I mean, some creatures are known to be smart enough to do so,
Uh-huh.
but if they're smart enough to do so, they're also smart enough to do easier traps. And they're typically, when they're that smart, they are smaller when it comes to fey creatures. So
Okay.
it does not sound like something you've heard of before, at least not in a long time.
Okay.
You can make a... I would say you could maybe make a history check. Maybe. Or a nature.
make a nature check.
All right.
14.
Well, inherently it is unnatural, but it does remind you of something you heard. You want to say 15 or 20 years prior, during your days as a raider, about the March of Dead. Didn't really bother Fjolvard that much because it was heading in the opposite direction.
Mm-hmm.
But there were talk of weird real life creatures made of body parts.
Okay.
So like horses made of like arms and hands and
Kind of patchwork golem kind of
a
thing.
golem like, and there were like spiders, horses, like just really strange looking creatures. But they were undead. They weren't natural.
Okay.
You remember hearing stories about them, but you don't remember seeing any of them. And you do recall that some of those creatures did have enough intelligence to maintain their humanity, even though they were considered undead.
Okay. And is there any particular reason why I think Faye might be responding my Faye charm, or whatever what is the charm, by the way, that's responding?
It's like a mischief protection from dangerous evil Fae.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's just like a generic protection charm, basically?
Kind of. It's a little more of a protection charm against a specific level of danger. So like this isn't like your harmless pranks. This is like pranks that turn into murder, kind of
cool.
protection.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So with what Corvin did earlier, am I aware that that was an attempt to charm?
Yes.
Okay. You, who farted magic earlier.
Oh, you saw that?
Yeah, everyone did.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you do that
Wait, what?
again?
And you want him to make another stick cloud.
Well, what it was.
I can do so tomorrow.
Not helpful. Is anyone good with children?
I can command them once.
I'm younger.
Sure. Let's go
I don't
with
know.
that.
Wait, what'd you find out about the? Oh, the survivor's a child.
Yes. His named Pavel something.
Oh,
He was in a state of shock when I found him, but he seems to be okay now, or at least was when I left him with Luca.
anything else you find out?
He had a strange sigil on his arm. And
Sigil?
is
Like-
he'll take out his book out of his chest and a quill, and he'll draw it. So
Okay.
it's the curved horn with the I forget what the rest of it was.
It's like
Make
a
a history
dragon. Was it a dragonfly wing, right?
It's a dragonfly wing,
And
a
then the-
unicorn type rhinoceros horn, and a cat's eye marble.
Have I seen this at all?
Make a history check.
13.
I'll get to you in a second. Just want to wait for this roll too.
Yeah.
History, you said.
Yep.
It appeared in a way.
A natural 19.
It doesn't look like it got out of normal means. I'll say that much.
I don't think sigils appear in people's bodies naturally.
But I mean, it
Well-
doesn't look like it was carved with a knife.
Oh, wait. Oh.
It looks. I have no way of determining
Did you
how
guys try
it
to
showed up.
heal us? Do
I
we
have no way to do that.
Do we have a healer in town?
Probably. Before that, though,
Oh, yeah.
the natural 19 and some actual prior history with this symbol, if you catch my drift.
Oh, that's what I thought it was leading.
Yeah.
Okay.
You have heard in your brief time in Dragnia, that there is a sort of darker faction, if you will, that is... It's like you hear about like the shadow organizations that are running the government kind of thing. Like definitely conspiracy theory sounding. But you've heard of it, specifically a name, the Hillig van Jeroma.
Hillig van Geroma.
Hillig van Jeroma. And there's
Do I know what
like
that means?
what the
name means.
well, Hillig van is the name of the sea to the southeast, or yeah, I think it's a gulf actually, not a sea. It's the gulf in which the boats from Fjolvard have to travel across to Dragnia. So that is definitely the same Hillig van as far as you can tell. Yoroma, I mean, you're not entirely sure. Like I said, you've only faintly heard whispers about people having strange thoughts and ideas about what that might be or mean. One of the things that you've heard is that they have they deal in contracting devils and summoning them to our world to do their bidding or to mess around with mortals, giving them power beyond normal humans. There's theory. You heard like another person kind of talking a little bit about like possibly some of the people who might be like vampires in the government or members of this group if we have vampires for government, because that's still speculation. It's very vague and unconclusive and kind of not really reliable information, but it's information.
It's just word of mouth is what I've heard of them.
Yep. And Corvin, immediately thinking about the symbol, it doesn't hit you right away, but when Torvar draws it out, it triggers like this flash in your memory where you see people with this symbol on their robes or tattooed on their body in the aftermath of what happened with your family. It is definitely a reminiscent symbol
Cool.
of that.
Awesome. Time to go into a panic attack.
Just pulls out a paper bag.
Shit.
Corbin looks at his symbol for a second and just kind of eyes it a little bit and kind of stays quiet, honestly.
Do you recognize that symbol?
I've seen it before. Yeah.
I only have a name associated to it.
You know about this too?
Only a name and rumor.
Well, then you know more than I do.
And I'll inform Torvar as to the name and
I'm sorry, I wasn't actually listening to that. I was...
Hillig van Jeroma.
Okay. Does that name mean anything to me?
I mean, you can make a history. Everybody knows the history.
11.
11, you know actually less than Singard does.
It's been quite a while since I've seen this, but it's not a good thing.
Why? Can you elaborate? Look, at this point we have so little information, this is the only thing we know.
Well, I don't know anything about them besides they attacked my family.
Okay. They who?
how do you say it again?
These people who are just swearing, they just had the symbol on them.
People with it.
That's all I knew.
What does that have to do with the armed fisher in the woods?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I don't even know a name. I just know the symbol.
The flesh fisher.
Alright, well, let's go see if Luca has been able to get anything out of the kid.
Yeah.
Sounds like a good idea. I don't recognize the symbol, by the way. And yes, I am a healer.
Well,
Do I know this old guy? Now that
Soul
I
guy?
see, now that I
You've seen him
now that I've
around.
seen him.
He's been here for like the last 8 years or so.
Oh,
just the last 8 years.
I just look at him. Oh, hi, old guy. I didn't notice you there. I'm sorry.
Nobody asked his name.
Don't ask their
This is
name.
true.
They don't,
Never.
they don't get anything if you don't know the name.
Nothing bad can happen if you don't ask their names. Don't interact. Don't interact.
So you guys head back inside, I guess. The guard notices you and
Sure.
then goes, a lot more than was before, but alright, I don't care. I get paid to watch the door.
You could come. Good job.
And he lets you inside. You guys go to Luca's office again?
Yeah,
Are all of 4 of you going in?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I
sure,
go
I
in.
guess.
I said
I mean, I would. I don't know
Is
about
this our
them.
first sidekick, Brett?
I'm not telling
The
you.
kid?
Old man half-orc?
I am not telling you anything.
I was like, not the kid?
The half-orc gentleman stays outside.
Okay.
I looked at Singard. Is it Singard or Singard?
Singard.
Singard. And I, maybe you should wait outside too.
Why?
Because you might scare the kid.
Or stick your head through the floor and into the ceiling.
I will crouch. And just crouch my way in.
It looks worse.
You see the
Bald knees up into the chest.
I don't know if you saw a grasshoppered Goliath. It's ready to bounce.
ignore the Goliath in the corner who's just crouching there like some weirdo.
Just with the hood covering about this much of his face.
It's like death gripping his great axe. Great sword. Okay. I walk over to the kid and I don't know this kid, do I?
Is
Not
he
really.
still shoveling
Okay.
food into his face hole?
Yeah, he's
No,
still,
he's stopped. He's got like a little dangling. He's definitely not as dead in the eyes as you saw before.
You were saying?
before I walk over, Torvar. What was the kid's name again?
Pavel, I believe.
Pavel.
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 Pavel. Okay. And I walk over to Pavel and Luca. Lucas. I'm assuming Luca's just sitting next to the kid.
Luca's like sitting at a desk across from the
Oh,
kid.
Okay.
There's a guard in the corner.
I walk over and kind of like take a knee, and I look at the kid and hey, are you alright, kid? How's it going?
Shivers a little bit. I'm better now.
That's good to hear. And then
Luca just kind of looks at you questioningly.
under my breath, I go, God.
Luca?
Yeah.
Under my breath, I go, I don't really know how to deal with kids, but I take out a piece of. It looks like, well, it is paper, but it doesn't really look like parchment paper. It's super, super thin.
It's like A4 printer paper.
Oh, it's no, it's super thin. It's like incredibly thin, like to the point where like if you just tug on it, it'll probably rip.
Show
And then,
paper. No, I'm just.
yeah.
Tissue.
I start like folding it up into like weird creases and stuff like that. And as I'm folding it up, I say to the kid, you know, we're kind of like this piece of paper. And life are the hands that bend us back and forth as he sort of like goes, he opens it and closes it a few times in different places and makes a bunch of different creases. But eventually, we'll always be shaped to and become something better than we thought we could ever be. And then as he finishes filling up, he sort of like, it's like this little flat shaped, it looks like a triangle kind of, but he sort of opens a little pocket in the paper, and he gives it, and as he puffs into it, like poofs out into like this this star. It's like really cool. It's basically just I'm doing origami.
Yeah.
You doing like
Under-
like a snowflake thing?
Yeah, like a snowflake, the origami kind of thing, and like it pops up and like, and I just kind of give that to the kid and say, you know, one day you'll look back and notice how much you've been able to walk life because of this, but in order to take the next steps, you have to tell us what you know so that people don't have to go through what you went through again. I don't know what I said. But I think
All of those words gone.
I think it makes sense, kid.
Yeah, thank you. But I've already told Luca everything.
I give Luca that really look. You could have just said something.
Oh.
That way a little.
Jesus.
You already kicked it. Just move it.
But yeah, and so so I say, yeah, I just say
I mean, it's a cool trick.
thanks.
I want to go. Can I take some? He looks at Luca. Can I take some guards and go clean up? And Luca just kind of nods and motions for the other person in the room to head with the kid. Before looking at the rest of you and nudging you to stay and like nudges towards the chair. And the kid and the guard make their way out. Well, well fed. He is a lot more cooperative than previously.
No one goes in the forest. Period.
All right. Good to know.
we
Most
saw
of us don't
something.
mess with the forest anyways. It's too close to the Londoners.
I saw something really kind of scary in there. It was
Is it pertinent to what I'm about to tell Torvar?
A flesh fisher.
yeah.
Like a fisherman made of flesh?
We saw
Or
an
like-
arm.
Fisherman that uses it, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Or so like most fishermen?
Not like most fishermen.
Very
If
confusing.
most
right?
If
fishermen-
most fishermen use an arm dangling by a strand of tendon, then yes.
More descriptive. There we go. Okay. Well, good to know. I will make sure that my men stay away from there, especially during the dark. Speaking of, it is getting pretty late in the night. Do any of you have any place to stay? Or do you want to become a feast for whatever things come out of the forest at night?
I don't even have a tent.
I was just gonna go to the village head's house and just sleep in his house like I normally do.
Right.
I have nowhere. Just a few coins to my name.
That sounds quite sad. Well, you should probably find a place to bunk for the night. I'm surprised you bunk in the same house I do. But,
Oh, I didn't tell him I sleep there.
oh. I thought that you I'm surprised you would find lodging in this house.
I think he knows. He just doesn't care enough to tell me to get out.
You're a squatter.
I only
Well,
come here every once in a while, a few weeks. And
I should probably inform you of what Pavel said.
Please.
He kind of like gets up and he adjusts himself and he leans forward and he puts his hands in front of him and he frowns again, much deeper than before. Pavel survived by hiding under the bed in a small hatch that they keep for storing things. Hid down there and kept the latch cracked. Well, he watched his family depart. He said
Not how I would say it, but
he heard this horrible stomping noise that sounded like metal hitting wood, or like a hammer. He described it almost like the steps of whatever this creature was made the sound of a hammer hitting wood with how weighty they were. And that before he even got all the way into the hatch and down to look and away, while the rest of his family was being killed, he did notice it was fairly small. It was incredibly fast. The disturbing part isn't that, though. The disturbing part is what follows.
But wait, there's more.
It apparently left a hat on the floor, soaking in the blood, while it almost sang and drained his family into a bucket.
shit.
Does this ring a bell?
It sounds like a red cap.
What is a red cap?
What's...
I'll just flip to their page in my book.
It's the page you saw
and
earlier.
just hand it to Singard, assuming he can read.
Depending on language, yes.
Yeah, you see the depiction of a goblinoid with a horrible looking, semi-messed up sickle, a cap that kind of was like, it's almost like a mushroom cap that comes down on the side. And it's got these like iron or steel type boots that it has on in the depiction. As you're reading it, and this is something that you would know too pretty much right away and are probably going to jump on, but families slaughtered in vengeance can turn into like people, not even families. If it's through bloodlust, like mushrooms sprouting out from the blood, more red caps will spawn.
Shit.
What does this have to do with the symbol?
Not a clue. We need to get to Pavel. As long as it's still Pavel.
Not just Pavel, but of the first ones.
There were no survivors.
No survivors in those.
Wait, why do we need to get a pebble?
Hand him the book.
Then I just hand the book over and point
Do you
right
yeah,
with this.
Is
Right.
it in common?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah, I can read it. We need to go.
Yep. Grab the book, put that away.
Something dangerous.
Sure, just hand it to Luke and I'm leaving.
Right.
Immediate.
Gets
hand him
up
the book?
and
I
just
hand him the book and start walking.
push open
He
the door
starts,
as fast as I
flipping through it
can.
as you guys start to make your way quickly outside. As you get outside, the half-orc gentleman, it sounds like we have a plan.
Yep, draw your weapon. We may need it.
Pulls out the stick. It's a quarterstaff, technically, so.
Technically.
Torvar is going to unlatch the axe strapped across the top of his bag and take the shield off of his back.
All right.
Just for clarification, the shield is on the side with the ripped up armor.
Singer puts the great sword back and reaches back under the cloak for another great weapon. Great axe.
Would
All
silver
right.
be effective, actually?
Against this type of
Yeah.
creature? Possibly.
Okay, not
you,
his axe.
you'd have had to look more closely at your notes on the creature.
Not his axe. The sword that he keeps on his back instead.
All right.
Which, if you look closely, is lined with silver.
Corbin pulls out a stick with a little leaf bud on top of it. Let's go.
Not even gonna ask.
Just big action.
Yep.
So, the three of you begin, well, four of you begin rushing over towards
Quick march.
the kid Pavel's house, the house of the Wilkowskis.
As we're leaving, Lucas just say, "Catch up."
You see, as you get there, there's some guards sitting outside still, and Luca is. Some of them are like moving into the house with Luca as you speak, and you continue rushing and you rush and you get up there. What do you say to them as you rush up? Weapons drawn.
Luca?
Sorry, not Luca. Pavel.
With Pavel.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, Luca's in two places. Congratulations, you figured it out. No, that'd be horrible.
I'm just gonna say, Pavel.
Turn around and look.
Stop for a moment. I need to talk to you before you go in there.
Kind of walks over. Did you figure out what it is or where it might be?
Possibly. Luca told me what you told him. And... you know what? Here, I'm just gonna grab the charm. And I'm gonna say, hold on to your hand. Yeah, I'm just holding it.
It's starting to glow right now.
I'm just gonna hold it in my hand.
Okay.
Let's say, can you hold out your hand, please? I'm just gonna drop it in his hand.
Okay. It's still hot. Like
Yeah.
it still touches his hand,
Yeah.
but it doesn't change any closer you get to him.
Uh-huh.
You hear from the house.
Which house?
Shit.
The house that the guards were going into to help start cleaning up.
Did the guards go in?
Yeah.
Ah, shit.
I mean, they were going in either way. They were going in to help out.
What does that sound like? Someone
It's more like you don't really hear anything coming from the house, and maybe some like movement, and then
hear that? I'm gonna go over there and kick in the door.
you hear like the thud of a body hitting the ground.
Kick in the door.
Yeah, I'm gonna grab that and say, stay out here, kid.
Move.
As you rush into the building and you see the guards kind of like their swords are being drawn and stuff like that. They're kind of in the way. You're like pushing past. A couple of the guards reach out and stab forward, and they both connect.
That's gonna
That
kill
was
this
quick
thing
damage.
before we ever can.
And they stab through the baby red caps.
Baby red cap.
There are
baby.
6 of them in the room. They kill
Jesus.
2. They're actually tiny. They're maybe like that big. They've already got the knife and boots, and they're like jumping on this body of one that hit the ground, and they're like,
Oh shit.
go ahead and roll initiative for me.
Sweet.
You taking control of this, or am I?
You are. Remember
I need a marker.
volunteered?
Whoa. The one thing I forgot. I'm just going to borrow this.
You got the dry erase marker.
Do I? They should be over there.
Oh, it.
You got them.
Yeah. Yeah, they're under my dice bag. Of course, they're under my dice bag. Come on.
No stone unturned.
Oh, you gotta erase all those names now. You press.
No, I'm leaving those.
Oh.
Taking these.
I don't think that's enough.
We may not. Yeah, there's 6 of them.
Oh, there's 4 now. 2 of them died.
Oh, they did kill 2.
Yeah,
okay.
the two guards that are in there that are left killed 2.
What's your name? How do I say?
Corvin.
C-O-R. You got it.
C-O-R-V-I-N. Yeah.
Initiative.
I'll show you.
18.
That's right.
Finally,
Not
a
bad,
high initiative
not
roll for
bad.
once.
And Torvar, you spelled it.
Torvar.
10.
All right. And Singard.
A 10.
All right. So between the two of you, I think Corbin has a higher dex. Maybe? Maybe.
Or +1.
+1.
The
13.
That's the
13.
same.
I don't know. Choose
Roll-
between the two of you
rollies.
or roll off.
Roll
Okay.
a 13.
Bam! Look at that. Another 10.
Straight middling.
Woo!
Watch me get the final blow on these as usual.
Jeez.
Oh my god. You're not going to believe this. Guards
All the
roll,
guards go first?
Guards roll 20.
Of course they do.
Of course they do.
So
Natural.
we've got guards.
For initiative?
Okay. Yeah.
Of course they do.
As usual. Well, they have one attack each, so I'm just going to get them out of the way since they're first. They are going to swing at the red caps who are currently slashing and have killed their partner.
Yeah, sure.
And both miss. With that,
They did.
that will bring us to Torvar's turn.
Sweet. I will move in and
They're all
attempt.
in the same hex, technically.
They're all in the same hex?
Yep, all four of the tiny ones are.
Can I just like swipe and try and hit all of them?
Yeah, sure, you can.
Do I have
Do
to
you
make
know how that
separate
works?
attacks or?
So it'll be separate attacks for each one that you hit, and you only do over damage of the first one into the next one.
Okay.
So guards first.
So
Yep.
First one. Natural 19.
Natural 19 definitely hits baby red cap.
Okay. Any extra damage for silver that I should know about?
Don't worry about that yet. Just
Well, minimum damage, which sucks.
Just total of?
3.
3 kills a baby red cap.
No, yeah, 3.
3 up to 4 because it's a red cap, because of the silver. You go to you kill the baby red cap in the first hit and you cleave through.
Okay.
So roll another attack.
Dirty 19.
Dirty 19. All right. So you deal 1 damage into the next one.
Okay. So I kill one and slice another. This feels wrong.
I feel like you're just, weeding the garden of gnomes.
A little bit.
As that happens and they see their allies die, you see them like their bodies, their hats are mushrooms, but they aren't soaked red quite yet, not all the way through, and their bodies begin to like turn red, like their skin begins to like turn red, and they like start getting a little more muscly, and they start growing a little bit in size. And the blood around them begins to just...
Sweet.
Oh no.
Yeah, that leads us to Singard.
All right. I will. How many do we have?
There's 3 left.
There are 3.
3 left, and one of them's taken 1 point of damage, which is now healed.
Okay. Then I will.
Well, actually, no, it's not healed, because silver weapon.
Okay, so. Okay, so it is 3,
Yep.
not healed,
They're all in the same spot.
and
None of them
they're
are
all
healed.
looking just growing.
Yep.
Okay.
They're getting bigger.
I'm gonna take a swing at the first one that's next to me,
So the other 2 are just getting a little bigger, and the one that you hit is just staying in size.
which would be it's one of these. Okay. Natural 20 plus 5.
All right, go ahead and roll damage.
Oh well, shit, Jesus, I'm gonna.
Are you also trying to cleave through?
Oh, I'm swinging with the great axe. So yeah, this is gonna.
All right.
Great sword.
So automatically, 15, right?
Yeah, just
15?
1d12 plus 3,
Jesus, yeah.
and then
so it's 15 right off the bat. Yeah, plus another die roll. So 15 plus
plus
whatever you
7.
roll. All right, 22. Now roll an attack roll for the second and then third. So roll the second one to see if you hit.
Okay. 15.
15, that hits. Go ahead and roll for the third one.
13.
13, yeah. cleaves through all 3 of the remaining ones in a single swipe.
By the time I see you kill something.
The mushrooms just kind of tops fell off. They kind of like look a little woozy, and then they KO down to the ground.
Is that guard just gone?
The one that they were on?
Yeah.
There is so much blood coming out of that guard. The guard was like slashed across both of the tendons of the ankles, and then went down to the ground. And at that point, they took 4 more attacks at him.
No saving that one.
No.
Cool. Okay.
Oh,
Go ahead.
baby
Casper.
Redcaps did
Casper,
your
real
turn.
fast.
Well,
Uh,
child's play.
Don't say that after what we just did.
That's a horror movie reference.
That was the whole point of that. Come on,
Yeah.
they're little kid type.
Cool.
All right. Well,
I
shit.
turned the little kid around.
The kid was still outside.
Check your
I know.
glowy
Oh, okay.
I was outside too.
Check your glowy thing.
I didn't go charging
It
towards the
doesn't
door.
glow, it vibrates.
Vibrate,
Well,
whatever.
it glows a little bit.
Does it?
Remember, it gets glowing hot.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Corvid had something
Yep.
to say though.
How's the kid reacting to just? Does he seem like he knows what's
Well,
going
it
on?
happened super quick.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
he's kind of like coming to the realization right then that that happened, and is like starting to freak out a little bit. Like it's getting worse, and then they start like shaking, and then they start like starting to try to move away from the house.
Yeah, I'm you give the kid a big old hug and say it's okay. It's alright. They got it. The big guy got it.
Let's get away from the house for now,
Yeah.
in case there's more.
Just to be safe, I will stab each of them with the silver dagger. Yep. And the mushroom caps.
Yeah, each part.
Corvin coming to a sudden realization and yells out, Torvar! There's more! This is the 3rd site.
Oh shit.
Did I not say that?
I don't remember.
I don't remember you
Me
saying
either.
that.
Well, is Luca here yet?
No,
No?
that all happened in less than 6 seconds.
Sweet.
Luca hasn't even left the office yet. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, we just kicked in the door and said,
I look at the guard and say, did you guys clean up the other messes yet?
I mean,
Did you guys just leave them there?
not really. I mean, we didn't do anything with it. We made sure the blood was a little picked up. But there was no one in the house to deal with the moving in afterwards and picking up of the body.
Oh no.
Like, we took care of the bodies. We kind of soaked up some of the blood, but probably still dried in that house.
Okay. I'm gonna take out my charm. Is it still vibrating here?
A little bit, yeah.
A little bit?
A little bit.
Oh shit. Okay.
if I see them, it's like, bring me a torch.
How do we get rid of this?
Well, it's glowing. It's not glowing so bad, so it's probably not that there is that kind of creature here. It's probably more like the residual leftover.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think this house is clear for now.
How did that even happen?
You're the monster hunter.
I'm not really sure. They kind of just... Where a red cap kills one, more are bound to appear.
Do they come out of the blood or the flesh?
Yep.
Yeah.
Then we should hurry.
Blood
What?
We
specifically.
should hurry then to the other spots.
Yeah.
Where specifically what it says in the book is where blood is spilt in bloodthirsty rage or some kind of bloodthirst, red caps will spawn up as mushrooms from the ground.
This was the 3rd location. And the first
one was a cattle mutilation,
possibly a stable hand.
and that was on someone's farmland.
Yep.
And the second one was another family,
An elderly couple.
an elderly couple.
I'm gonna go outside and look at the old man. Say, quick question. Where was the guard that was following you? I'm not going to assume you didn't see him.
Well, he's probably still looking for me.
Okay, fair enough.
I pick up the kid.
Where
Depends on how heavy it is. Is
I mean, he's still fairly heavy. He's built for farm. He's a farmhand.
He's like 15.
Yeah. But he's also built
Picking
like
up a teenager.
yeah. But like I said, he's also a farmhand, so
Yeah.
he's pretty hefty.
I'll walk up to the guard and,
I
just-
don't pick up the kid.
and ask him,
Where are the other houses? Quickly.
I can take you. I know where they are.
All right, and then you guys, I point at the guards. You guys take the kid back to Luca to make sure everyone's safe in the town.
is he like
Right.
is he like
Have
hobbling
Lucas
around
and
slowly?
He's got a
Guards.
staff. He's walking with the staff.
I'll tell those guards to say, have Lucas send guards to both of the previous locations and make sure no one goes in.
One of them is out in the open. There is no going in.
Well, shit.
Take me to that one first.
Smart.
I mean, they're all, never mind.
Is it-
The
you
half
say
orc
it's two
leads the way.
locations.
And the other guards take Pavel to Luca. Luca, who meets them halfway, deals with the situation there, but you guys won't know that. So, moving on to the second
Word
house.
of warning? These ones are probably bigger.
Oh.
Because the house of the elderly couple is on the way to the
We'll
field.
go, yeah, that one first. Then.
You'll go to the house of the elderly couple first. You push in the door really quickly, smash it open, kind of, not
Another
like
kick.
break it or anything. But there's like a blood stain on the floor where there are definite marks of mushroom growth that are no longer there.
Does it sound like anything's here?
Make a perception check.
I'll take out my charm.
Is it dark?
It vibrates, but
Is it
it's
dark?
not glowing. It is dark. At this point, the sun is set. Like like you guys are at sunset and it's starting to dip lower.
Shit.
No. 5.
5. Unfortunately, looking into the house with it being dark and hard to see, you don't notice anything.
Can't see anything.
You have good eyesight. it would
Oh, I'm
seem.
trailing behind you guys. Like,
Like a
stop
little
walking
bowl,
so
little
fast.
little metal bowl falls off of a covered shelf.
I'm like a couple feet back. I'm like running. I'm like, I take twice as many steps as you guys. You guys are too big.
As
A
that's going
little
on,
bit shorter than I am.
I will say, Torvar, you do notice that there is a slight mist and fog rolling in. Like it's starting to mist a little bit, and fog is rolling into the town.
Sweet ambience.
And I walk up to the door. Do I see anything? And,
In there,
yeah, now that I
you
caught
look up, make a perception check.
Okay.
Like a bowl falls down from the shelf.
Now, what were you asking me to look for? And then I
Anything in the dark?
14.
14. Looking about in the house, there looks to be all kinds of different little nooks and crannies that something could be in. I mean, it looks like it has been picked through a little bit.
It looks
though.
like. I mean, shoot! It looks like the mushroom stings popped up, but where could it be?
A piece of like a wooden spoon on a shelf falls off somewhere. The same area.
Look at that.
As you're looking into the house, it's on a wall, like to the side, so you can't see what's in the shelf, but you could see where it fell. So there's something moving in there.
He's got a torch.
I'll
You need a
take
torch?
a torch out of my pack
All right.
and light it out.
There's little bits of red staining on the ground. You notice it's like there's like a metal bowl in there. It's probably some kind of
I'll
like
take one of my
tin or
torches
something.
and
gonna
light it on
I'm
his.
gonna hold the torch in like my shield together. That kind of like dual
Alright.
that dual grip, and then I'll have my sword in the other.
Just give me the torch. I'll hold the torch.
I give you my torch.
Okay. I don't. You need the torch, don't you? I don't need the torch.
Let me hold the axe.
I extinguish your torch, and then I'll take your torch.
No, I want to. What? No.
2 torches, go!
I'll just hold the torch for you guys. I don't need to hold things.
Just had one.
But you don't have a shield. It's ineffective.
No, I train like this.
Do you?
Yes.
That's cool. Okay. Can you light your torch again? Oh, yeah.
All right.
Just
Torches are taken. Ding, 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 ding. Another thing
I
falls off
point
that
at
same
it,
shelf.
and it's coming from over there.
get ready.
All right. You guys head into the house.
Sure. Who's leading?
Well, if there's one light in front of me, I'll go next.
Sure, I'll go first. I have the
I'll go.
shield, I guess.
You go first.
I'll
and you
take up the
slowly
rear.
creep into the house.
Take
Are you
the-
like circling around it to?
Yeah, sure. I'll take the dodge action as I do.
All right. You begin to creep around,
Mm-hmm.
and as you kind of like get closer, because you have to walk into the house a little bit and then circle around to hear this.
I hope they had
As
the
a
cat.
black cat jumps out of the shelf, and then it like scurries out the door past everybody.
Ah!
Not the bear cat.
Mangy animal.
I've seen this scene in my dreams. They're probably behind us, and I turn around.
Hearing, what was that?
Yep.
Hearing whatever that
What's your
was.
AC?
My AC?
I did roll with disadvantage.
Okay. 18.
Luckily, you have some armor on your boots as a sickle hits you right in the ankle, like clangs off, hidden under some furniture nearby. It like crawls out. There's definitely a little, probably like a medium-sized red cap,
Uh-huh.
kind of like.
As soon as I see the thing,
I mean,
go to
technically-
swing on it.
Technically, we roll initiative here, but it got an attack surprise round on you.
Yeah.
So we'll have everybody roll initiative here.
All right.
I suppose I should have rolled a surprise round.
19.
A 19? Torvar?
4.
14.
All right.
There's my normal initiative
Same
roll.
here. I'm. This is. If it lives through your turn, I'll be surprised. It is prone.
Yeah. Advantage.
Yeah. All right. Go ahead. Make your attack roll.
Swing low, sweet cherry. All right. With the great axe over my head, and swinging down.
All right.
Yee. Okay. A dirty 20.
Dirty 20, you say?
Yes.
All right. That definitely hits.
Okay. So, where's my boy? There it is. That would be a 6 bludgeoning damage. Or slashing, excuse me.
All right. Shing! Cut into it. You cut like part of its cap, and you see like the mushroom fold out, and there's like a little bit of a brain in there. And then it like folds back over, and it goes. Does anybody speak Sylvan?
I believe I do. I do.
I also.
Do I have a chance to respond to that little...
I mean, do you speak Sylvan?
No, just...
Oh, I
just,
mean, you can
just
respond
something.
to it.
Vile trog!
What those who hear Sylvan hear is, I'm going to cut your throat out and bleed your friends too. In what it said when it slashed at you, and then
Yeah.
Jeez.
in that whole sentence.
I'll pretend I didn't understand that.
With that, it leads us to. I think you said you had a 14?
4.
And you had
I had a 14.
Oh, 4. Backwards. Corvin.
Cool. I will look at it and hold my torch up and hold Singrad's torch up and I'll kind of pour my hand up and then around my single middle horn is slightly glows more with like sort of like that again with that teal kind of greenish bluish energy, and then it will sort of send out a little spike, and I cast Mind Sliver at it.
All right, it's a saving throw, right?
It's a saving throw, yeah. Intelligence saving throw. Save of 14.
It fails.
Okay, cool.
All right.
It takes a d6 of psychic damage. Oops. 6.
Probably her extra, just because it had to go through that slit in its head.
Right
to the
6
brain.
damage, and then the next saving throw it makes it minuses a d4 from it.
The like red cap of its head like flares out a little, and when it does, you see like the top cap like push out like it's like trying to regrow or something. That will then lead us to adolescent Redcap's turn.
It has gone batty.
It is going to take another sickle slash at you, Torvar. Specifically at your ankle as it stands up. And it makes 2 attacks. That is a 20 to hit on the first one.
This is still a disadvantage.
Oh, yeah, it still has disadvantage. That's, honestly, I rolled 2 14s, so that hits. First attack hits.
+6 to hit? Jesus.
You guys don't have +6s to hit?
No,
I
I
got
have a fucking
+5.
+6 to hit.
Come on, Scrubs.
You take...
I got a +5. What are you calling scrub? It's 1 off.
You don't have +6?
Yeah, I let that slip by accident. It's been too long since we played D&D. You take 8 points of slashing damage to
Jesus
the ankle,
Christ.
like right to the
only
tendon
been
in the
4
back of
weeks.
your leg.
Oh, it's good thing that old guy is a healer.
It like
who's-
embeds in a little bit, and then it pulls back, and it tries to swing again, and it just glances off the same armor as it gets up.
Always that leg.
In Sylvan, and a secondary one comes out of the furniture at Corbin.
I wasn't inside the house.
I thought you were.
I was taking up the rear.
He was in the doorway.
Oh,
I didn't go in the
Singard.
house. I should've
What's your
said
AC?
so, but
AC is a... Oh, turn on. 17.
That misses. On the first attack, and misses on the second attack. All right, that's their turn. That leads us to you, Torvar.
Sweet.
How do you miss these tree trunks of legs?
I'll just fucking stab down trying to get me at the ankles.
Little ankle biters.
Do I have advantage on this because it's prone?
Yep. Well, no, it's no longer prone. It stood up.
Oh, it did?
Yep.
Okay.
So did the other one that was behind you, Singard. So.
That's probably a miss. That's a fucking 6.
Yeah, no, that does not hit. You go to like stab down on it, and now that it's standing, it's a lot harder to hit. Whew, dodges your blow,
Cool.
kicks out at you with its metal boot.
Well, that's my turn.
All right, that will then lead us.
Actually,
Woo.
I'm gonna second win.
Fair enough.
Because there's a lot of damage.
oh yeah, you're a fighter. I forgot you're a fighter.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, nothing really happens. He just stands there and grunts. I don't fucking know. Like,
Get him.
yeah, that'll be it. Just second winding.
Yep.
Yeah, I get 10 HP back.
Will lead
Nice.
us to. Nope. There we go. Dennis's turn. Dennis is gonna give you a good look. Touch Corvin on the shoulder. Give Corvin guidance. So you get a D4.
Oh, his name
Nice.
is Dennis.
Yeah.
Oh
Dennis.
no, he has a stat block.
No, he's
And then he will
Dense.
look at you. And are you fully healed back up?
Yep.
Does it look totally fine now?
Yeah. So everyone thought, it slashed him, it bled a little bit, and then immediately stopped.
All right. Well, then that's all he's gonna do.
Tenses your muscles. Good.
Yeah.
Stops the bleeding.
You know, actually, I think I'll take back the guidance then, because I was banking on you not fully healing there. just going to take the help action for Corvin instead, because it's more of a buff.
Okay.
Do something.
All right.
He basically, you do something, I'll help.
I did.
That will then lead us back to the top of the turn order.
All right, back to me. So how many have we got now in the room?
Just the one behind you and the one behind Torvar. Well, now Torvar's turn to face.
Turn around and swing at this little
All right, go ahead.
loathsome little
Mushroom.
22.
22, that hits. Go ahead and roll damage.
Oh, dang.
15.
A 15?
15 damage.
15 damage?
I got max.
You're attacking the one that just attacked you, right?
Whichever one's behind me.
Yeah. So you swing around and you thunks right into the side of the thing. You see it like take like part of its arm just like off, and it kind of like looks at it and it grabs its own weapon with its other arm. That will lead us to Corvin. I keep looking at Torvar, thinking Torvar's next. Jesus.
Jeez. Okay.
Corvin, your go.
Real life, if I saw that thing, I'd kick it. After that, just like, no way.
Okay. As a bonus action, I cast Hex on the first one that we saw. I attacked
All right.
Torvar.
What's that look like?
Okay, so what this looks like is, what does it look like? Good point. For this one, he kind of again blows into his hand, and as he pushes his hand out, again the arcane magic flurls around forward, and then sort of like circles around the little red cap, and then coalesces into like a little dot above his head, pretty much that kind of shines, and occasionally little puffs of arcane fart comes out on.
So does the thing above his head look gaseous or solid?
Oh, it looks gaseous, very gaseous.
All right. The little sun right above
Smarts
it.
him a little bit.
All right.
And
Bonus
then
action?
let's see. I choose. Let's do strength.
All right.
So yep.
Easy enough.
And then with my action, I hold my hand out, and a teal greenish eldritch blast comes
All
on
right.
my hand.
Go ahead and roll damage on that, or attack with that. Not damage.
Eldritch
You don't automatically hit.
It's not magic missile.
Yet.
15.
15 to hit.
Uh-huh.
That does hit. Go
Okay.
ahead and roll damage.
Jeez. Never played a warlock before. Which dice do I use?
Yes. But only to keep track of your force spells.
Respectable.
6. Was that force damage?
I think so.
Yep.
6 force damage, and then since I hit it with the attack, the hex goes off. I get a d6 from hex. Is 1 necrotic.
All right. You hit it with this eldritch blast, and the force energy sends it flying towards the wall. And right as it does, it's like reaching around to stop itself with its sword to like try to like push away from the wall from hitting it. And its arm just like withers, and it loses control of the blade as it goes right into the wall and squishes. Pretty much.
Yeah.
That still leaves one more in the room, and is at the end of your turn.
Oh, that is the end of my turn.
All right.
Nothing else to do.
It
Cappy's
is
turn.
going to make 2 attacks on Sigard. You have hit it.
Is
That
this
is
the
a-
one-armed man?
Yep. Natural 20
Oh,
Oh, jeez.
and 17.
they both hit.
Yep. All right. So natural 20, you automatically take
Oofda.
9 points of damage total from the first blow,
I am bloodied.
and then from the second blow, you take 5 more. So a total of 14 damage.
I look very hurt.
The creature is bloodied, by the way.
However, what you do notice in this instance of Singard being damaged, there isn't a ton of blood. Like, there's less than there should be.
There's like a giant cut. You see like muscle in there. Like barely bleeds a little bit.
What the heck?
Yep. But that is the end of its turn. That leads us to Torvar.
Cool. I will move up next to Singard
All right.
and attempt to stab the little shit.
Yet again, poke.
Yep.
Like, you little shish kebab.
Natural 16.
That definitely hits.
It's like trying to pick up trash with those little skewers.
It's a shiitake mushroom.
Fucking 3 again.
A 3 to hit? Or a
3 damage.
3 damage. Wow, I'm just all over
Rolling
the place
minimum
today.
damage.
3.
It is silver though.
It is a 4.
That adds an extra point.
It is. Yeah, no, that kills it.
Oh, holy shit.
Oh, dang.
Did a ton of damage to it previously. So yeah,
Literally just gonna shish kebab this thing straight down the middle.
you now have a shiitake mushroom
Yeah.
person. All right, you managed to kill the 2. There's a little bit of blood going out. Dennis kind of comes up to you. You'll be fine. Gives you some cure wounds. Oh, max. So you heal 8 points.
Dang.
I am no longer bloody.
I'm gonna take out my charm. Is it vibrating?
It's
as
like a
intensity
little bit
here?
of vibrating, but it's
Okay.
the intensity is much lower.
All right, I think this place is clear.
Okay. Again, I cast Detect Magic.
To the field.
All right.
And then I look around the room, and
Does it take time, or is it
it's at will.
Okay.
Well, at will cast still have time.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it still takes a minute to cast.
Casting time, 1 action.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
so it's 6 seconds.
Never
yeah.
mind. You
I
see
think
magic.
you talk about identify.
Possibly.
Yeah, it might be it.
I wasn't sure. I just know that at wills still have the casting.
Oh,
time.
yeah.
Yeah.
You just don't take the slot.
Check your vibrating thingy.
We're good.
Is there anything around
Other
the
than
area
the people who are
immediately?
currently carrying magical stuff, no.
Are the red caps themselves magical?
Nope.
Oh, actually, no, that's a weird question. Doesn't work
Detect
that way.
magic does not.
Yeah, it
detect
doesn't
that.
work that way, yeah.
Actually, I'm
If there were magic, like purely magical entities, it would. But
just a
Yeah.
quick tea for a second. Red
Maybe.
caps, are they... I forget, are they even gnomes or are they demons?
find out.
That's a good question.
I will, just for good measure, stab the other one. Or what's left of it anyway.
You poke its body.
Just like swirl through the splatter.
Just making sure.
Yep.
Okay.
All right.
And then I'll just take my sword and like the other one off.
All right.
And
They're in a pile together.
at the demise of these bastards, I start moving my ass towards the field. Which way?
Follow me.
Follow.
Follow as well.
All right. He begins yet again with his staff.
If he's too slow for me, I will pick him up. and
No,
point.
he's actually super quick.
Oh.
He's actually faster than you are. I
Good,
think.
because I would have just told him point and carried him.
Yeah, he outpaces you and gets there before you.
Jeez.
He's faster than you.
Quick man.
When you get to the field, the Dennis, you guys don't know his name yet, the old man, basically hops like through the fence and then like rushes out into the field as you guys like get up and you hop over, go through, walk through, crouch through, however you go
What
through
kind
it.
of field is this? Like a...
It's like an open field. It's full of snow right now.
Oh.
So there's a barn on one end where the
Okay, so there's
like
no
the cattle are.
plants or anything like that?
Not right now.
No, like cover?
No.
Okay.
Open field.
Open field.
Yep. And you get to the spot where the
I think Brett would give us cover.
Them cover.
I love the smell of traps in the evening.
they don't need cover if they lay down. Like in the snow. No. You get over to where the old man stops, and he begins to like move snow out of the way. You can see him like piling through some of the snow. When you catch up to him, Torvar, do you still have a torch lit?
Probably.
As the person with the highest passive, you do immediately notice that there are footprints leading away from the area the old man is currently looking for the blood in, that lead towards the forest.
They go towards the forest.
Directly from this spot. It looks like they left this spot and went towards the forest. It's just one set of footprints.
have that out too. I'll
Yep.
take the charm out. Alright. Looks like some went into the forest. There may still be some here.
Is there anything around that is big enough for these little shits to hide under?
The snow.
How
I mean,
deep
it depends
is
on
the
how old
snow?
they are, but given that this one is almost 3 weeks old, it's probably too late. I'm sorry, what did you ask, Torvar?
I said, how deep is the snow here?
It's only like an inch or two.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like I said, it was a snowfall yesterday that's already melting. So
Unless they're underground, I don't think it's here.
Then what?
They went into the woods.
Do we follow or not?
You just came from the woods. Do you really want to go back in there in the middle of the night?
I used to live in the woods.
That explains a lot.
What? That's
Then we go in at daybreak.
maybe we should just take a quick peek.
Through what? The forest?
Fog.
It's not a closet.
just rolls right over you guys as you're talking.
How thick?
It's not super thick immediately, but it is getting thicker.
What is this
How
common?
tall?
Yeah, it is common for fog and mist to
Oh, okay.
come through.
How tall is it on us?
It's taller than you.
The mist is taller than me.
It's a fog that's rolling in. It's like a wall of fog rolling over.
It's pretty common here.
Let's go find Luca. Or not.
Off in the distance, towards the forest.
Is that common here?
Yeah, I've heard worse.
Okay.
We should probably just make sure the forest is okay right here. And then we can go back.
Okay, lead the way.
Can we see the edge of the forest from where we are, or is
Okay.
the fog
Not
obscuring it?
anymore.
Fog is too obscure.
It is rolled in at a level where you can see the edge of the forest, but you can't see at like waist level into the forest. So it's started to like roll up and over. It's a very quick moving fog.
Does that seem natural?
Nothing about this place seems natural when you look at the Tenavia hinterlands.
It's
They have it in Fjolvar too. You do know about the Tenavia hinterlands. I think I explained that to you pre-stream. Yeah.
Okay, I will begin walking towards the forest.
Corvin leads the walk. Do you follow along the footprints as best you can?
Not directly.
I will follow, but keeping a wary eye of sounds of little running up on us.
All right. You begin to creep towards the forest.
Yeah, I will.
Taking your time, of course, because this is getting a little terrifying.
Yeah, it's getting a little scary. So I'll take my time and sort of, like,
the wall of fog that's kind of like rolling in more at foot level at first begins to like pass over and get higher. It's almost at like chest level on you by the time you get to the edge of the forest.
It's a waist level for me.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Okay. I will continue sneaking my way up to the forest.
Okay. You can see just fine without torches. The torches do keep the fog at bay around you. So,
I will take back my torch.
I will give you back your torch.
alright. You begin looking into the forest. Do you just want to make like a general perception check? Now, you two cannot see far enough into the forest to notice anything. Not at the edge.
Okay.
Typically, the stuff that gets a little in the forest is about, like I said, 100 feet into the forest.
Okay. I'm going to put my axe away and pull out like the battle axe that's on his
Okay.
back.
One thing to note for you, you can go ahead and roll. Well, everybody at the table really. The general rule in the Tenavia hinterlands is if you can no longer see everything but like behind you, like the plains or the village you came from or anything like that, then you have gone far enough into the forest to be lost. 13.
We're not
Yeah.
in the tree line yet, are we?
Well, you're moving into the tree line, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you two aren't, but Corvin is a little ahead of you. And is
If he tries to go farther than 10 feet, I'm going to yank him back.
okay,
10
do you guys
feet?
stop at the edge of the forest?
If you go more than 10 feet into that forest, I'm yanking you back.
You said it was
You
a
said
total of
perception, right?
yeah,
13.
13. as the fog is rolling in, you see it's like starting to like come down off the trees a little bit, and you see this like weird dangling thing in a tree.
Okay.
It's hard to see from the fog. Not sure what it
How
is.
far?
Maybe 20 feet from the edge of the forest.
It's hard to
It's
see
about 10 feet away from you.
because of the fog.
Yeah. The fog is obscuring what it is.
Okay. What I'll do is I will attempt to hide until the fog clears up enough to where I can see what
Well,
it is.
the fog might not clear for hours. That is a thing. The fogs and mists just roll in and they stay for a while.
Well, no, I mean, I'm saying like if for an instant it clears enough for me to see it, does
Okay.
it look like that? That would
It
be
might.
possible.
It might. Torches would help. Because torches keep fog at bay.
Does it though?
Torches burn off the air around fog and will slowly dissipate it.
Okay. Cool. I'm not a scientist. I don't know this.
All right. So
Uh,
you sit there and wait
for a little bit, yeah.
a little bit. All right. You wait for a little bit. You're just still swinging there. Not
Well,
really doing anything. Whatever it is, it's dark and like black, and it's kind of like straight too.
So,
It's hard to see what it is. You can't see color either. So dark vision is black and white.
oops, ignore that rule. Well, the thing is, Brad.
Oh, do you have fucking special dark vision? God damn it.
Do I?
Look, he can get special dark vision. We don't have shit.
No.
I can see normally in darkness, both magical and non-magical, to a distance of 120 feet.
Never mind.
What do your magic eyes see?
kind of looks like a old dried out cow hoof.
Cow hoof on a string.
Not on a string, just dangling from a tree.
Hanging from a tree.
You can't see anything past like this much. Like, so if this is the bottom of the hoof here, you could see like up. So if it's straight, because they're more straight than that, you could see about this much of the hoof. It's just like dangling there, and you can see there's like nibble marks close to the bottom.
I will.
Nibble marks, he says.
Again, I will take out this thing and try to hit it.
All right, make an attack roll.
I think that's 12.
Yeah, that hits. It's not hard to hit a not inanimate object. You take your sling and you, whew, rock flies right up to it, hits it, and it just, and it starts to like drop lower from the tree. Like it like drops like a whole 2 feet, and is then still swinging, and then it continues to drop a little more, and it drops and it drops, and then eventually it hits the ground, and there actually is something attached to it all the way to the ground.
What? What's attached to it?
So you couldn't see the string before
Oh.
because the fog.
Oh, the
that's what I was.
oh,
That's
the
what I was
string.
saying. Like you
Oh,
don't know
okay.
if there's a string. You definitely can tell
Oh, now
there's
I can tell.
something attached to it.
What the heck?
Yeah. And you notice like right in the middle of the part that's attached, there's like a horn that looks like it's where the two pieces of whatever is holding this there attached together. They're wrapped around it, but it's definitely a bullhorn.
Yeah, look over it. Torvar, you wouldn't happen to know what does that.
I can't see what you're seeing right now.
Do redcaps make fishing gear out of parts of creatures?
That does not.
That I'm
No,
aware of.
that does not sound like typical red cat behavior.
So I'll put the great axe away, holding the torch in one hand, grabbing my long sword,
Okay.
and I'm going to move forward.
You step forward. Still got the torch out a little bit. Do you move up to where Corvin is?
I'm going to move a little beyond
I
Corbin.
am.
Okay, like
not.
5 feet beyond. Okay. Torchlight is burning away enough fog for you to be able to see the hoof on the ground as well as the horn that's like right in the middle.
Do I see anything up above?
Up to the trees. The trees are taller than you. The trees are the bottom of the arch of the very bottom of the tree is like 15 tall. So you are starting to burn away some of the fog there, and there is like just through some of the tree you do see that it travels deeper into the forest.
Look back at both of them, and I'll move up to the leg.
Okay. You get right next to the leg.
Famous last words.
Make a dexterity saving throw.
I was gonna say I was gonna cut it.
I mean, yeah, you can definitely cut it,
see
but
a
after you make a dexterity saving
All right.
throw.
I see a strange orb. I'm gonna stick my head in it. My head does not come back up.
So should I swing at it or what? Just the dex.
Dex first.
Dex
I
first.
touch the dagger.
I touched the butt.
Way up.
13.
13. The cow hoof that was like laying on the ground, and you've got the string, all of a sudden gains a little bit of slack and then begins to spin. And as it spins, it wraps around your ankle real quick.
Oh, shit.
And then whoosh, you are now barreling through the forest.
Can I attempt to slash the thing around
Yeah,
my
you
leg?
can. You can.
All
You
right.
basically see, and this is a Singard. This is Singard, an 8'6" Goliath, who's probably pretty hefty, just like a toy.
It was his time.
And if
I can no longer see in the dark.
all right,
You just see the torch flying through the forest. It's just around your ankle. Tree.
Oh jeez.
16.
The 16 does hit it. Go ahead and roll damage for me first. You gotta cut through that first.
Cut the little bastard. 1d8.
Like a toy.
5? No, 3, 6.
Okay, 6 will do it.
Okay.
5 does not.
I was like, wait, no, wrong number.
Shing! You cut through like the last little bit of sinew there, and you just. So you are still moving at the pace you were when you cut it, and you just into the forest floor. I will say you do take 3 points of bludgeoning damage as you into the forest floor,
Just
like
Back
right
at
into
the
the root of
tree
something.
line.
And you see the torch fall to the ground. Because all you can see is like torchlight through the fog. Maybe actually no, you can't even see it. You have no idea. Gone.
You'd probably
That's far
hear,
enough away.
see that light.
You'd hear me swear.
Far enough away that you can't see that light.
You'd hear him swear in some language.
So he's dead, right?
I'm gonna go get him. I'll be back.
And then you hear the swearing.
You hear the swearing in some language. But you know, those are Singard's dulcet tones.
You just hear where I was, just sounds of rapid footsteps towards where Singard
Do
went.
either of you speak giant?
I do, actually.
So then you would know what the hell I'm saying.
Fuck, I guess I go with.
Yep.
God
All right.
damn
So
it.
you guys walk into the dark, foggy, creepy forest.
Just screaming up at the canopy, come back down here, you!
You walk up and you see Singard there flailing at the trees angrily.
I slap Singard.
Cow hoof still wrapped to the ankle.
I slap him in the face and say, "You need to be quiet."
You need to leave.
That's why he needs to be quiet so we can
Which way's out?
start dragging you.
All right. You start heading out. Now, lucky for Corvin, you can find the way out easily. And I will not elaborate on why. But you should be lost. And both you two know you should be lost
Yep.
right now.
Corbin
Torvar
doesn't.
did not want to go in.
Yeah, you notice that as Corbin's dragging you guys, he's not hesitating at all to where he's going, and he's just dragging you guys.
And Singard, right as you're leaving the forest, you feel this like slightly cold hand rest on your shoulder. Your right, like upper shoulder as you're standing full.
Does it feel like it's reaching up, or is it like...
No. It feels like it just like comes to rest on your shoulder. Like not like this, but like imagine if this hand was right here.
Great, so something taller than me!
But it just reaches a hand out and touches your shoulder, and like slightly caresses. Well, so the weird part is it doesn't feel like it's over your armor. It feels like it's under, like against your skin, and it just like caresses.
Don't
backwards.
Just a comforting little shoulder massage.
And as you
the cow
leave,
hoof?
you just see the fog blow, like you see a feminine face kind of come out of the fog, and it blows a kiss at you as you walk out of the forest.
What the fuck, dude?
I don't know! I guess something thought I was a snack in there.
Definitely a thought. No. All right.
All right,
You guys
fall-
make your way away from the forest, or do
Yes,
you just
fuck
want the
yeah.
forest
All the
edge?
way. Got
All right.
dragged through the fucking trees for a second.
Torches leading the way. You guys make your way away from the forest.
What can
You're so
haul
lucky
up?
I'm not dead.
What can haul up an 8'6" Goliath like it's nothing?
How big are you? Like 400 pounds? How fast were you flying?
Like I was across the trees in 6 seconds.
Zinka, we've told you these things. There's a reason why people don't walk into the forest for no reason.
Damn flesh fisher.
You guys make your way to the edge of town because it's not very far. All the lights are off, all the doors are closed, and you see there's symbols etched into the door for the fogginess. Nothing super out of normal, but as you move further into town, there's no lights on in houses. The symbols on the door are slightly askew. They're not like drawn like they should be. It's like they're tilted to the side and like cracked, or they have like pieces chunked out of them. Doors, as you move further into the town, aren't actually on the right way. They're flipped. They're on upside down. You begin walking in further into the town, and you see that there's a house that it has the wooden shingles at the bottom.
What?
And Torvar stops for a minute. And you have this nagging thought at the back of your mind that your leg hurts. Your right leg, like your thigh. And as you look down, you see the dangling keychain has a glowing symbol on it. It's kind of like an infinity symbol. That's like more like an 8, not like an infinity, with 2 spiked lines in the top loop and 1 down at the bottom. And it's the symbol for a hag. And it's burning your thigh.
Fuck.
And that's where we'll end for the night.
Jeez.
Gee, I wonder what dragged me through the forest now.
For anybody still watching, thank you for sticking with us. We will be picking up here in 1 week. So again, 7 p.m. CST.
Thank you for everyone who joined us. This episode, our first episode, should be on our YouTube channel and also available as a VOD on our Twitch as soon as we figure out how to make sure that that's there. And then it'll be on the YouTube channel probably sometime early next week. We're not sure on an exact schedule on that just yet. But thank you so much for watching.
Have a good evening.
Bye-bye.
Bye.